The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Coach Saban Thursday, January 4th, 2024. This sports program starts now.
Football!
Is happening this weekend in a massive way. And although we have had Thursday night football to kick off NFL weekends all year, we do not have one this evening. But we have a weekend stacked and packed with anxiety and energy and implications to change people's lives forever.
Yeah!
And then on Monday, you want to talk about telling a story later at bachelor parties and weddings and God forbid at some point it's going to happen, funerals. There are two teams traveling to Houston to try to win a national championship and have their team immortalized forever for 5-year reunions, 10-year reunions, 15-year reunions, 20-year reunions, forever etched in stone at your university that you are a national champion. This weekend is fantastic. We cannot wait to get there, but don't look now. The NHL is throwing heat tonight. At 7 p.m. on ESPN. The Pittsburgh Penguins will take on the league-leading Boston Bruins. This is a game that you're going to want to watch, okay? That guy right there. Boom! Boom!
Oh!
Greatest on earth right now.
Well,
Okay? We don't even need
long time.
Connor Bedard. I get it. Okay, Connor Bedard, welcome to this guy's league. Okay, welcome to this guy's league. He is the Pittsburgh Penguins superstar, multiple-time Stanley Cup champion, an absolute menace to the city of Philadelphia, so much so that Kyler Murray wore his jersey into the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium the other day, and he's taking on a man whose name used to be pronounced differently than it is currently. A guy who's won and done it in his own way. Guy you won on your team, hate to have him on the other team.
amen.
A man who's going to be joining our show in 8 minutes. That's Brad Marchand, captain of the Boston Bruins, who are favored by 1.5 this evening at home against the Pens. We'll be talking to him in 8 minutes. That's pretty cool. Hey, thank you, ESPN.
Here we go.
For having that connection there. The talks it actually it ended up being our connection, though.
Funny enough.
Good point.
You know, because remember.
Classic.
But wouldn't have happened if they didn't have to listen to the conversation to have us.
Sure. Ball was rolling.
Ball, yeah, absolutely. And the Pittsburgh Penguins said, no, nobody's allowed to go on that show that has Aaron Rodgers on it.
Classic.
Okay, I think that's what.
That's
That's a joke. They did not say that, but it potentially was thought, especially with how the world is currently going right now. But we'll be talking to Brad Marchand. They definitely said nobody's going on that show. Just so we can manage through what's jokey joke.
That part was not a
and
joke.
what's real there. Because if we're going to have to clarify that, I very much understand, especially with how many humans are watching the show, new to the show. Well, you need to know that there's two people that sit at the toxic table. One of them is wearing a Rhino shirt. That's at Boston. Connor, your mullet's looking great.
Thank you. Yeah. I kind of locked in on doing the hair this morning, and then to find out, the player, the captain of the greatest team in the NHL right now is coming on the program was just such an added bonus. It's just nice that one classy organization is playing tonight, because then at least they will let us talk to their players. Damn shame that the Pittsburgh Penguins are just a bottom 6 franchise.
That is not the case.
When it comes, let me finish.
What are you even talking about?
Can I finish?
What are you even talking about?
Can I finish?
You already said enough.
Can I finish? Bottom 6 franchise when it comes to their PR people. And that is my opinion. That is not anyone else's, although I do feel as though I speak for a group of people. I'm just pumped to have Brad.
Yeah, we know nothing about any of the players that have been playing on our team for 20 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, is that a good thing, a bad thing? I don't know. You tell me. I think it's a good thing because they've won, so nobody really cares. But as we continue to venture into a world where more people are introduced to the sport of hockey, getting to know the people that are on the ice will probably help a little bit,
Think so.
especially for some of these teams. And they need to know the stories of these hockey dudes. These hockey dudes are right dudes.
Yes.
They work their asses off. They say nothing about anything. Now, this guy licks people's faces.
Loves it.
Okay?
Good move.
He's a menace.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bit of a pest. There
He's
he is.
absolute pest.
Doug Guizamo.
People call him Rat. He's a rat because of how mad they get about him. And then obviously shares the name with another person that's called a rat in a different field of writing and stuff like that. So I think that is kind of what is said there. But like once you get to know the work, the trip, they move away from school and high school to go live with a boarding, like a family, to go play hockey, to try to make it. They're professionals since the age of like 16. Some of them have insane immigration stories from where they're coming from and everything. It's like the sport of hockey is great. Hockey is awesome. Excited to chat about it. Last night, big news. Pro Bowl rosters were listed.
Yeah, so it's the top 3 teams in the NFL draft order didn't have any Pro Bowlers, and then the Green Bay Packers also didn't have any Pro Bowlers.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that.
What is that all about?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think Jordan Love probably should have been a Pro Bowler.
I'd say.
Now, granted, you look at some of the quarterbacks up there who made it, and I get it. But also, can we factor in that a couple of these teams probably going to go to the Super Bowl? Those guys are not going to play in the Pro Bowl.
Sure.
Get Jordan Love in there. I was shocked, though. I mean, anytime you're like, hey, the 3 shittiest teams in the NFL obviously didn't have any Pro Bowlers, and the Packers didn't have any Pro Bowlers. It's a bit of a head scratcher, but, hey, you've always said it. Pro Bowl doesn't mean anything.
No, it does not for legacy and Hall of Fames. It does.
That kind of stuff for sure. But it is. It's a popularity contest, and that's fine. That's fine. We got a lot of young guys who maybe aren't popular enough yet.
There was a couple years where I was certainly upset, and I thought I should have been in there. But at the punter kicker position, there's only one, and there's a bunch of alternates, and there's a lot of really good guys. But you do have to kind of corral that angle that, this doesn't matter anyways. Yeah, but then whenever they start judging people for Hall of Fames,
How many Pro Bowls you go through?
and whenever commercials or speeches or books or incentive or anything, it's like, how many Pro Bowls did you make? So we can all say it doesn't matter anyways, which it doesn't, but it does in like certain facets that are very real. So I hope they continue to figure out how to make it perfect and make it right, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
It's going to be very tough no matter what. I used to say that the refs deserve to have a vote because they're on the field with every team. They're on the field with every single player. They're there. I think more people that are kind of involved should have more, but these refs don't have a clue when somebody's reporting eligible.
No, exactly.
I don't know if they need to be voting for, they need to be voting for Pro Bowlers. There's a lot of snubs, though. One half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs. You were riding your saddle on the internet last night about the snubs. A lot of people not happy about not making it in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, there's a handful that stand out. Josh Allen being one of them. Now, Lamar and Tua, they should be in the Pro Bowl 100%. The argument there.
Josh Allen might win the MVP.
Yeah. The argument there last night was Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes because Mahomes has 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Allen has 27 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. That's passing. He has 42 total touchdowns.
Jeez.
42 total.
Josh Allen might win the MVP, especially when the Dolphins get a big-time win and end up stealing the AFC East or whatever the case is. But then they get in the playoff. If he ends up as the MVP and he's not a Pro Bowler, that is kind of like the Pro Bowl's a sham.
Yeah.
That is that's going to be a tough thing to kind of fight against.
Another big one on the internet last night was Antoine Winfield Jr. At the safety position for the NFC because he has 3 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and 5 sacks. Buddha got in over him. We know Buddha.
We love Buddha.
Buddha's
Yeah.
a tackling
Great
machine, but all those things that I just rattled off there, Buddha has zeros in that category, so a lot of people thought Antoine Winfield should have got in over him. 2 wideouts in the NFC. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god, who basically runs that passing attack for the Detroit
He's been
Lions.
lifting since he's like 6 years old.
Yeah, exactly. But the NFC's tough as far as wide receivers. CD made it, A.J. Brown made it, Evans and Puka Nacua made it. It's tough, but Ayuk was also left out. He's got a lot less targets than all those guys. And, you would think, everyone said that Brock Purdy can't be an MVP because his wideouts are so incredible, and neither of his wideouts made the Pro Bowl.
So he's not throwing to a single Pro Bowler.
Brandon Ayuk, he's throwing to Kittle.
Well, of course, the tight end position.
But not as a wide receiver, yes. So Brandon Ayuk has over 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns with the by far the least amount of targets. So those 2 at wideout. And then the last one was maybe a corner for AFC, L'Jarius Sneed, who's, there's a Cincinnati Bengal wide receiver saying that he's the only good corner on that entire team, and they're one of the best defenses.
Yeah, he was actually talking shit on an entire city pretty much.
Yeah.
And he was like, but
Jerry Sneed.
Dude,
Dahn. People were saying Jalen Ramsey got in, and Jalen missed a lot of time. Obviously, Jalen's unbelievable. He missed a lot of time. But, yeah, there was a few out there that people were talking about last night.
whenever you talk about popularity contests, normally it's at a position where you don't know a lot of people, so a name will ring true, especially if they had a good year. Like, for instance, in the AFC, people were upset that Justin Tucker's the kicker because of how many great years the kickers had in the AFC. There's a lot of guys that only have like 1 or 2 misses. Guys are knocking down kicks. There's a lot of people. Nick Folk, I think he's at 96.7% on a year or whatever over there for the Titans.
Man.
He was obviously not good enough for the Patriots.
Well, the thing about Folk was he was going to make too many kicks.
Yeah, and that's not this year's mission.
We couldn't, and that's why the only snub I'm pissed about is Chad Ryland for the Patriots. Barmore. Chad Ryland. I mean, you can make the argument no one has done more for their team than Chad Ryland.
I agree. Okay, so he might be MVP. He's not in the kicker conversation for the AFC. Also, Dustin Hopkins was 33 or 36 for the Cleveland Browns, only 3 misses. He's obviously had some massive ones. There's a couple other guys over there, but Justin Tucker has the second most points in the NFL. So normally the voting goes, how many points does a kicker have? Now, this is where I want to bring in our legend here, the people's coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Pagano is with us. Chuck, you ended the year on a very strong note against the spread on Thursday Night Football. We appreciate that. Before the voting for kickers, normally it's just points. And if you look right at Brandon Aubrey, who's perfect on a year, he's the NFC one, has the most points in the NFL right now. And then Justin Tucker's number 2 right there. So then I think Jake Elliott's number 3 or something like that. So that is normally what the voting goes for in the kicking category. And Justin Tucker's like greatest of all time, although a lot of other guys certainly deserved it. When the coaches are voting, how does that work? Is there normally like, hey, you take this group, you take this group? How does the coaches vote work for the Pro Bowl?
Just get this big packet. You know how we give them to the offensive guys, the defensive guys in the room, and they go through, and then we we hand it over to the OC and the DC. Say, fill out these names, and it's who do you recall? Who comes to mind? Who's had the most exposure? Like, you don't know every offensive tackle on every team. You don't know guard. You don't know these guys, right? Tackles, you know probably better than the interior, to your point, but you're just filling out kind of like who you know and trying to get through it as a coach.
But I think it's 1/3 of the vote. Right, I think the coaches, players.
No, but that's real. They're just like, who is? Oh yeah, that guy's pretty good.
Remember? Oh yeah, there's 2.
Because you're still trying to game plan and do whatever, and you bring it in as a head coach. Hey guys, fill these out for me, okay? I need them in the next whatever. And so you got them back like in 10 minutes, and I said, we probably need to put a little bit more time.
Yeah, but that is so. This is.
But it's to your point. It's a popular. And how does like a guy like Franklin not get in?
Zaire.
Like
come on.
Back-to-back record-breaking years for the Colts, let alone league-leading in tackling. Has taken over for our team. And we're, by the way, because of our defense, still very much in this entire thing. We'll get back to that. Chuck, I appreciate your insight. I also appreciate the fact that this man is taking time out of his day to chit-chat with us.
Hell yeah.
Now, I'm wearing a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey. For those that don't know, the Pittsburgh Penguins are the hockey team that represent the greatest city, not only in Pennsylvania, but we'll say the whole world, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay. Greatest hockey franchise in the history of hockey.
Yep.
Not true.
Okay,
Not true.
Not true.
Not true.
Not even
So
close.
true.
In the history of
Not even
hockey.
close.
We're talking KHL.
No.
The Norway HL.
No.
The Swedish HL.
No.
Yeah, all of them. They're going to a city that has a very good hockey team. Okay?
Damn right.
Greatest regular season hockey team of all time. That was a record they held last year. We actually have a jersey hanging in the rafters to signify the fantastic season that they had. It's legendary. It's hanging right above Boston Connor's head because he was loud about these boys all year last year. Well, look out. They're back. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Marchand.
Hey, guys.
Brad, thank you for taking time out of your life to join us. Tonight's a massive one. I know when you're playing the Penguins, there's probably a lot more, jitters, anxiety, fear, things like that. How are we 6 hours away from game time?
Yeah, no, you nailed it. A lot of fear, anxiety. I'm struggling to get through the day. I don't think I'm going to eat. But I'm excited. Should be good.
Okay, Brad, let's go back in time a little bit because I am a Penguins fan. I have seen and known you, I feel like, for a very, very long time because of what you've been able to accomplish in the NHL and those phenomenal Boston Bruins teams. At one point, your name was Brad Marchand, and everybody just knew you as the pest, the menace, the guy's going to stir it up. And then also...
Guy's really good looking.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Were they saying that? Was that a part of it?
Yeah.
That's what I like to tell myself anyway.
Super handsome.
Handsome was it.
And they would say, and then all of a sudden your name changed to, some people called you the Rat. Then all of a sudden your name would change to Brad Marchand, and you're the captain of the team now. Are you still the menace, the pest guy? Do you have to bury that down as you're the captain, as you've matured? How do you see your playing style over your career here in the NHL?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's a lot of different things go into it. When you're the captain, obviously you got to lead by example, and you really got to pay attention to that. But also just being on the radar, I think I'm at this point the most suspended player in the history of the game. So
Congrats.
I don't want to continue going down that road. So you got to try to clean it up here.
How's the team this year? Obviously, we hung that banner last year to signify the greatest regular season of all time. Now, obviously, when the playoffs happen the way they do,
Come on.
What's that?
I mean, let's talk about the game at night.
Okay, all right. Anyways, so you guys
Just rub it in at this point.
No,
Yeah,
Brad,
you're telling
we're
me.
past it. Rocket ships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors. You know what I mean? We move on. But to say that, you guys have been dominant, seemingly from first game last year all the way through the end of the season. This year, same exact thing. Why do you think your guys' team is so good so often? Because teams do this a lot. You guys don't seem to do that much.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, you try not to get caught up too much in the regular season. The whole point of the season is to get a position in playoffs and to have an opportunity to play for the cup. And you go on a run like we did last year and how we started this season. It gets exciting. You kind of get lost in, breaking records and what it all means. But at the end of the day, whether you finish with winning every single game this season or you finish 8th, as long as you're in a playoff spot, you're playing for the same thing. And we experienced that firsthand last year about focusing too much on that. But I think just with the way our management and ownership and coaching staff, the way they bring guys in that believe in our group and want to be part of a really good culture and want to be part of a winning team, it allows us to be competitive each and every year and allows guys to kind of come in and buy into what we've built and what we continue to strive to do every day and allow us to have a good recipe for success.
We've heard stories, epic stories, about teams and when they travel, having dinner, maybe some adult beverages,
Right.
a lot of them,
Right.
a lot of bottles of them,
Right.
and then just like rolling into the rink the next morning and like being expected to be, hey, this is what it is. This is how we roll. Is it still that way? And how do you build chemistry, especially as the captain for the Bruins team, when there's a lot of different languages in that locker room, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a lot of different nationalities in the room. But yeah, I mean, that's part of being a good pro. When you do things together as a group and, sometimes the night before a game or after games, whatever it is, that's part of it. You got to show up and still expected to do your job. And, it obviously it's a much different schedule than football and where we play very frequently, so you got to kind of have a mind of a goldfish where you'll be able to forget things very quickly and move on and regroup. But we always try to do different things that we've incorporated. One thing is just gratitude and be very grateful and practice that every day about the position we're in, the opportunity we're given, and not just to be in the NHL, but to be part of an organization like the one we are and a team like we have. And every year it changes quick and guys move on and go to different teams and careers end and just trying to be in the moment and grateful for the opportunity we have. And it's something that we've been preaching for the last number of years. And, it's really worked well for our group.
Yeah, I'd say. That was a phenomenal answer, by the way. There's a man who's a massive fan of your organization. Which
Brought up right.
All right.
Yep. Don't.
You don't know him, Brad. Actually, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No,
That is Boston Connor has a question for you, Brad.
Yeah, Brad, first of all, it's an honor. Thank you for everything you've done for the Boston Bruins. I'm going to
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm going to thank you right now as well for kicking the shit out of the Penguins tonight, just because they are
No pressure.
a bottom. Yeah, no pressure. They're a terrible franchise. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But obviously being the captain of the Boston Bruins, massive deal, original 6 team, greatest franchise in the league. But after, the season that you guys had last year, was there a little like son of a bitch, I got to replace Bergeron after we go and win the most games in the history of the regular season? And then also, have you guys talked a lot during the season, just, for a couple tips and, hopefully you can kind of leave this one open perhaps. Is there a thought that you've kind of planted into Patrice's mind like, hey, if we do go back to the playoffs, here, there's only 4 series we really need to get to hoist that cup again. Have you thought about, coming back?
Yeah, I know. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure following a guy like Bergie, and not just Bergie, but Z before that. Our last 2 captains have been 2 of the best captains, not just for our team, but in the history of the game.
Amen.
And, to follow those shoes, I was very stressed and had a lot of anxiety about it. But they're both good friends, and Bergie especially, we built an incredible friendship. We speak a lot, not just, hockey stuff, but, just, again, typical friend stuff. And I talk to him all the time about it, and it picks Z's brain, and a few other, like Ray Borks, reached out to me a bunch and been great as well. So I think that the guys in the organization that have come and gone and really left a great legacy are so good and really want to help to this day the team be very good and take a lot of pride in that. And then, obviously with Bergie, I think he gets annoyed with how much I try to push him to come back at some point. But I think he's excited about, his next step. And so I try not to be too hard on him.
See, it's a big deal. Did you get emotional whenever it got thrown on the old chest there?
Sorry?
The C, big deal. Did you get emotional?
I did. Yeah. I won't lie. It is, when I always, like, as I'm getting older and I kind of watch my career go by, and when I tend to go back to thinking a lot about when I was a kid, and I never ever would have envisioned being in the NHL, and nor, when you're a kid growing up, do you ever think about being a captain? You just want to play in the NHL and play hockey and do what you love. And then, to be able to have had the career I do, or I've had, and never expected, even till last year, that there would be potential of being a captain. So when I first saw it on there, it was emotional. It was pretty special to see. Take a lot of pride in that, and being a player for this organization, and so it was special. It was very special.
Yeah, because as somebody who's watched you from another team, I've always said, man, that's the guy you want on your team.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's nice, that the Boston Bruins are like, agreed. Be like, yeah, this is the guy we want, not only on our team, but to represent who our entire team is. You've been fun, man. The Bruins have been fun with you on the team.
Yeah.
Not just in Boston, though. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Brad, I got a question for you. Obviously, you and Sid both being from Nova Scotia, you guys played on the same line together for Team Canada. Sid has actually said that you were basically his favorite teammate on that team because, you're a lot better to play with than against. So, like, when you guys are going against each other tonight, will you give him a little bit more because of how tight you guys have become, or will you not pest him as much, or you give him an extra face wash because I believe he's got a black eye and a cut on his face right now?
Yeah, what the hell happened to his face?
Give him another one.
He didn't do the dishes. His wife.
Hey, I understand. He's on IR.
Same thing here. No, Sid, he's incredible. Just a great guy. I grew up watching him play. Every year I was supposed to play against him. He was so good, he'd move up. And the guy that my dad actually would tell me to try to copy some of the things he would do. And part of my game and the way I protect pucks and stuff is because I watched him growing up. But, he's not a guy that I like to try to get involved with on the ice. He's one of those guys that
smart.
You make it bad.
Hey, that's smart.
Take over a game, So I try to, pick on guys that can't do that. But they got a few of them on the team, so I try to just keep quiet against them.
Hey, how about you just take the night off to honor
Nope. Kick his ass, Brad.
No, to honor Sid. You just heard him. He's got to watch him growing up.
Fight him.
We still go for bragging rights, right? So I can't take it easy, but I just will leave him alone.
You going after Gino then? Let's get a little strategy.
Getzel?
Do you guys
you got to be careful against the Russian. Like some of them are so tough, and you just don't know which ones it is. So you got to leave those guys alone.
Yeah, and sometimes Gino will get pissed, and then sometimes he won't. It's like some games you're watching. It's like, oh, Gino's not having any shit today. Like that.
I've seen him get mad a couple times, and I don't want to go after him.
So how much do you watch film? Like, obviously, the Pens team, the core, has been around a long time. New guys come in. Yeah. Obviously, we try to get a little bit more speed. How much film do you guys get to watch on this, like, how rigorous your schedule is, both traveling and practicing? How much film and stuff?
Yeah, so, that's, I think, one of the things that probably really differs from the NFL is, like, we do a little bit of video about other teams, but a lot of our video is about our game, because that's the consistency with our season, is that we can always try to improve upon our structure and what we're trying to do and implementing games where, we might take a couple clips of maybe 6 clips of Pittsburgh and say, here's what their tendencies are.
Got it.
But, for the most part, we got to focus on this as a group of what we're going to do. And because you can implement that in every game. So it's really just a quick snippet. And then, sometimes teams will do things different in game and maybe you change a couple things up. But, the biggest thing for us is the execution and to compete that you bring every night. That's where your separators are in our game, and that's what we try to really focus on.
I got sources inside the Pittsburgh Penguins, but they're doing nothing that they've done all year.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
New game
good.
plan.
Yeah, Ty has a question for you, Brad.
Yeah, Brad, it seems like the last 5 years, maybe there's been a new guy who's come in the league, whether it's like McDavid and obviously Bedard this year, where everyone's saying, or the media is like, hey, this guy's the next one. And then they produce, almost instantly, it seems like. How cognizant are you guys of that kind of stuff in terms of like how skilled these young guys are coming in? And then in terms of like talking shit, do you look forward to like kind of blessing these young guns with like a welcome to the NHL moment? Like, hey, listen, pal, this ain't the minors anymore. This is where the big boys play.
Yeah, Bedard more specifically. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely is something I think we would look forward to more in the past. Nowadays, you got to really be careful. There's so many things, like there's so many mics around now that you really got to kind of watch it. But, definitely with the, being physical on guys, like young guys that are coming in that, get a lot of hype around them. You could tend to, a lot of those high-end guys have a lot of arrogance and you kind of want to put them in their place and let them know, like, it's not junior anymore. You want to teach them a thing or two. But, you definitely have to be aware of them because they're skilled. But the one thing that's kind of slipping a little bit is the physicality in the game and where, some of the younger guys that will come in and really make a name for themselves is they have that high-end skill, but they're like a big power forward too. And the more you can kind of really focus on that because it's leaving, you can make yourself an extremely valuable player, especially come playoff time. Those are the kind of guys that you want on your team and you need on your team to win, where, a lot of the soft skill that comes in, they're extremely skilled and talented, but you can push them out come playoff series. So, a lot of these high-end plays that you're seeing in the regular season, you don't see come playoff time. That stuff gets pushed out pretty quick.
Soft skill. I like that's how you guys describe it. He's one of the soft skill guys coming in. Oh, can't wait to play him. Let's see how he. Welcome to not only your generation's best player, but the next generation up's best player, the next generation up's best player. How old are you, Brad?
35.
Damn.
Thanks for opening it in. Yeah.
How many years you been in there, and what's going on there? You just want to let them know that I'm gonna box them out here just in case.
Yeah, a little box though. There's not a whole lot going on there. I'm just trying to get them to get a penalty because this guy already jumped on the ice. So
Smart.
right there.
Eddie.
You're the best, dude. The absolute best. What's the afternoon look like? We're napping. I heard the NHL nap's a big deal. That's what's next?
Yeah, that's a big one. Gonna eat, take a nap. It ranges from an hour, 2 hours, depending on the guy. And then we'll get to the rink at like 4:30 for a 7 o'clock game, and then go to battle.
What's your nap? Hour and a half?
You know what I started doing? I was always playing around with it, but I've started giving myself like 2.5 hours, and then I just set alarm, make sure I'm not late, and then let my body have what it needs. Some days it's half an hour, some days it's 2, depending on our travel and how I've slept the days before that. So just let the body kind of do itself.
Yeah, let the universe figure it out. I think today you should sleep 4 or 5 hours.
Nah.
6, 7, missed the game.
Yeah.
Show up at 9.
Yeah, I don't know what type of accountability is up there in Boston, but if you show up late, I don't know if you're playing, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, good luck tonight. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to us, and good luck the rest of the way, man. You've been a lot of fun to watch for like 100 years now that you're an old-ass man.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I enjoy the cutoffs there. Keep them coming.
Hey, you got it. Shout out to the Boston Bruins.
Hell yeah.
Greatest regular season in NHL history last year.
Greatest organization as a whole. Thank you. I'm glad you agree.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brad Marchand. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, you guys are so screwed. I mean, you can just say, take the jersey off. Just do it now. You don't want to do the whole.
I mean,
show.
second hour I might put sleeves back on because it is a little chilly.
It's too bad.
I forgot how chilly this kind of used to get for me, and I had to stand out there. And maybe I have gotten a little soft skill. I appreciate that. I appreciate that they're like, oh, Connor Bedard's coming in. Is he? And then through the ranks they go. Some guys are saying he's soft skill.
Yeah, he's
guy.
soft skill.
A little bit.
Soft skill guy. Yeah, a lot of these highlight goals you see in the regular season, we won't be seeing those, whenever the playoffs come around. So get the highlights in now. Everything I learn about hockey in the NHL makes me like it more. Legitimately.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I grew up in Pittsburgh, obviously. I've been a Penguins fan my entire life. My 30th birthday party was actually a Pittsburgh Penguins cake. It was the only game that I really got to go in and see live because in Pittsburgh, could have went to the Pirates, I guess. They were just terrible, but didn't like baseball. But, the Steelers were impossible to get in and see. So, literally, my dad and I saw the Penguins, maybe 4 or 5 times. I have been a Penguins fan my whole life. Now, you move to Indiana, you have a job, you don't really get to see as much, you don't get to follow as closely. But it's for a guy that can't skate, which is me, although I did one time, play in a scrimmage.
That's right.
No goalies. Got to hit the post to score.
Yeah.
Right off the opening face-off, passed me by good hockey player, snapshot from the blue line, crossbar, 1-0 my team. I immediately went to the went down the line.
Of course.
Did the thing, went immediately into the bench, took the helmet off. I'm not playing anymore. So I've been on the ice for 15 seconds in a game.
You've been between the pipes too.
Yeah, you have.
Indy fuel practice.
That's right.
Yep.
Wearing
jeans.
wearing jeans for a jean commercial.
Yep.
And Eddie Olchik's son hit me right in the dong with a clapper.
Yep.
Remember that?
Oh,
yeah.
They were all aiming for my dong.
Yep.
I think it sticks right there, right?
Yeah, autograph right here. To Pat and the boys. Thanks. Signed. That stick right there, he was taking pucks. Just trying to hit me in the face.
Come on.
It was rude. But everything we learn about hockey, we like more. Thank you to Brad Marchand.
Love you, Brad.
Okay, let's start talking about some NFL stuff. That game tonight, 7 o'clock, ESPN, will be worth a watch.
Definitely.
A lot of very good players with a lot of pride. So it's not like, playoff hockey is impossible to kind of talk about and to explain to people about how awesome it is. Not only watching, but live, it's the greatest because everybody's moving so fast. They're going 30 miles an hour. And they're just, tonight is going to be one of those games because of who's all going to be playing. Brad Marchand, the man we just talked to, is one of the greatest hockey players of all time. He also, in his own lane, very much, has created an own career, which you heard him talk about there a little bit. Sidney Crosby, the guy that I have called the greatest of all time, literally since I saw him come to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania and do what he did, he's legitimately also menace too, though. Will hit gloves out of guys' hands.
Oh, yeah.
Will scrap. We'll get into it. Tonight, a lot of pride. They should get after it. I'm excited to see the Pittsburgh Penguins come out of there 4-0 dub.
Wow. Oh, yeah, sure.
4-0 dub. Ain't that right?
No way. Do you know what our record is at home?
What is it?
I think it's 13-0.
I was told it's an easy bond.
11-2-3.
What's your record against the Pittsburgh Penguins, though? Have you thought about that?
No,
Stinks.
who cares? That's the record because they're irrelevant. I mean, if it was the Stanley Cup champion team, sure. What's our record against them? What's our record against the team who wasn't in the playoff last year? Who gives a shit,
Or against the 8th seed in the playoffs.
You need to watch it. Pittsburgh Penguins are just slowly starting to come back.
Sure, yeah, slowly. What
are the Penguins doing right now, Nick? Are we good? We stink.
Crushing.
No, they just ripped off a couple games in a row. Now, last game they lost to the Capitals, but before that is 7-2-1 in their last 10. They're stacking wins together. Here we go.
7-2-1.
Uh-oh!
Pretty good.
Yeah, Marchand was cool, but that doesn't help you stop Sid.
Bingo. He actually said, I'm not talking to Sid because you get Sid mad. He just takes over the whole game.
Yeah.
He said they got a couple guys on that team that do that, so I'm trying to, find the ones that aren't. I like the scouting report on Sidney Crosby, which once again makes me believe hockey's even better now.
Yeah.
You got pettiness out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you want chirp, huh? It's over. And that's what Sidney Crosby does.
And him just talking about the Russians. Malkin, you never know. And most of those guys, you're not even sure, but some of them will just snap and rip you apart.
Far side, close to the goal. You will watch this man work. They call offices different places for hockey players. Down on a knee, batted out of the sky. How you doing? I'm now in 12th place in the NHL history. That's Sidney Crosby, baby. There you go, Sid.
Respect that, Sid. Respect that.
Are they on the road?
Yeah, it's in Boston.
What will they get? Will they get a 1.5 point?
Yes,
With a line?
Yeah.
The line for hockey is always 1.5. Unless you're really bad, then you get 2.5.
Yeah, unless you're the Detroit Red Wings.
Red Wings and the Sharks.
Blackhawks get it a lot.
Yeah.
Now, once again, Detroit Red Wings, I'm joking.
He's joking.
I am talking to Evan Fox over there, who is a Detroit Red Wings fan.
And we're all the way back, by the way. Hockey Town is back.
I doubt it. They're saying you guys are the next Pistons.
No, that's not true. We actually beat the Bruins multiple times this year. We kind of have their number.
Yeah, that is the thing. That's the hardest and best part about the Bruins is that when teams beat them, that is their entire season, and they hang their hat on the fact that they won.
Especially in the regular season. You guys are the best in the regular season.
Bingo. That's why it's such a big deal for teams like the Red Wings and the Penguins who won't go to the playoffs.
All right.
But will have a chance to play the best team in the league at least 2 or 3 times.
Way to go, Pasternak.
Yep. Love you, Pasta. Look, I don't know who's between the pipes tonight for the Penguins, but I bet that guy is shitting a brick now.
Just to continue like how the show normally goes, aside from what people think the show normally goes as, very transparent operation.
Mm-hmm.
Found out they were playing tonight this morning.
Yes, sir.
Super excited about it.
Pumped.
It's on ESPN. Should have known earlier.
Yeah.
Should have known earlier for sure. Should have looked into this for sure.
Been a long week.
We're going in that long week.
There's been a lot of stuff going on.
It's been a long week that has been happening. So we found out this morning and immediately we're like, boo, yes, we should try to get somebody on from there. And they go, all right, let's do it. So we reach out through ESPN. ESPN people that have run NHL have been incredibly kind and considerate to us. They've been willing to do whatever because they're like, you want to talk hockey? We're like, yeah. They're like, we'll do whatever for you if you talk hockey. And I'm like, that's amazing to hear because we weren't able to talk hockey as much before because we would get a strike from NBC, I think, had it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think they had a couple games, and then
NBC had it. We were in independent operation, so we were getting we couldn't really. It was hard to explain hockey without showing any clips. So it's been very beautiful, but it was last minute, and these hockey players have these entire schedules. He just talked about his nap. That's like an actual, like these NHL guys actually. That's like a part of the team's schedule. It's like, all right, siesta time. And then we're coming back here at this time. It's like a part of the process because they play late, they travel a lot. It's a part of so I thought it would be impossible to get somebody on. So they reach out to Pittsburgh Penguins, immediate no.
Yeah, can't do that.
Immediate no.
On that show?
I don't know. We don't know if they said that.
Sure.
A lot of people are saying that right now, though. I've been reading a lot of that. I've been reading a lot of that. But the Bruins immediately, yes.
Absolutely.
Who do we? How do we? So,
captain?
Shout out to give us, You don't want Brad Marchand on it? I'm like, Brad Marchand will come on the show? They're like, yeah. I'm like, let's do that. So very thankful for that.
Awesome.
Still wearing my Penguins jersey, even though they said, I don't think so. They talk about conspiracy theories on there? That's what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Let me open my phone real quick. That guy?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No way. That's another thing about the NHL. Not a lot of conspiracies with them. It's nice.
Well, they had something pop off there.
What was that?
Well, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Now is not the time.
No.
Okay, now is not the time. There is people tuning into this show for the first time this week and forever, just waiting to.
Oh, yeah.
Let them. You know what I mean? Because obviously what happened was very serious, very bad, very mean. Did not know it was coming. Think it was a shit talk, very serious. Obviously, it's led to.
Yeah,
it has led to a lot.
Quite the conundrum.
Not very, very, very sorry that we are in this and that we are a part of this. There's enough bullshit in society for us to be adding to it. We do not want to be that. That is not who we want to go through. I've been reading some stuff about me, though, over the last couple of days on the internet. Boy, I didn't know all that about me. I didn't know a lot of that stuff about me. I've been muting at a level that I've never muted before.
Have to.
If not, it's going to be hard for me to walk into this building again. You know what I mean? I walked in today. Indianapolis, walked in the office, and somebody in a van driving by, a delivery van, either said, love you, Pat, or you, Pat.
Right.
And I don't know which one it was at this time, and I just would like to let everybody know, hey, love you too, or fuck you too. Yeah. So that is how I feel, and we will move back to the NFL now. A.J. Brown was speaking about the Philadelphia Eagles. This year has certainly looked different for the Philadelphia Eagles than it did last year. Obviously, this Philadelphia Eagles team has talent. Obviously, this Philadelphia Eagles team has moxie and the ability to go on the same run that they went on last year. A couple new pieces. Will that be a problem? Sirianni's got to figure it out. Ooh. I don't think they do.
No.
That's what everybody's saying. It's hard to bet on the Eagles right now. It's hard to think that the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl because they look very different than what we expected them to look with another year of the Jalen Hurts offense, a new contract for Jalen Hurts, and what we heard and seen from Jalen Hurts last year we thought would lead into this year to be even better. That's how football works.
Yep.
Well, there's been some drama over there.
Quite a bit.
Big Dom DeCastro over.
Yeah, right.
Gets kicked off the sideline. Since then, by the way, Big Dom needs to potentially go renegotiate his contract because they might be wanting to take money from him. I'm thinking the complete opposite. Not only is he securing people off the field, they're a much better football team when he's on the sideline. I don't know what he was doing on the sideline during games, but that is a piece that is certainly potentially missing, and I don't think it's just, coinky-dink that'll happen at the exact same time. But A.J. Brown spoke up from the locker room that made me believe a little bit that the Philadelphia Eagles are actually heading in the right direction, and maybe we do get on board with this Philadelphia Eagles team. Here's A.J. Brown talking in the locker room after announcing on Twitter that he'll be talking tomorrow after hearing everything that's been said about the Philadelphia Eagles.
That may be things that Nick probably want to fix about himself, and I'll say, but one thing I can't respect, loyalty is not one of them. And I say that because he takes up for us when it has nothing to do with him, and he gets the blame, but that comes with his job, and sometimes Jalen does the same thing. And just like Brian, he get the wrong end of the stick sometimes when it be us. But like I said today, the coaches played 0 snaps this year. It is not the coaches, it is us. And so, like I said, if one person goes the wrong way, the whole play is over with. And as you guys see, it is glimpse. It is highs and lows. It goes just like this. And so that's why I feel like. That's why honestly I feel like we are close. We are close to continue to getting better and continue to take that next step. With all this freaking adversity, we right there. That's what happens when you're trying to get to the next step. Gravity pulls against you. Everything pulls against you, and I think that's what this team is going through right now. And I think once we fight through that, push through that, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be right where we need to be. Because I know we got great people in this locker room. We got good people.
You mentioned that.
Yep.
That was nice.
We got accountability in there.
Yeah. Awesome.
We got a player sticking up for a coach that's been taken in on the shins by everybody.
Good eye
You also
contact.
got some great eye contact. Hey, look at me. Okay? I want you to see how I feel while I'm saying this. I'm talking to you right now. You need to hear this. Nick Sirianni is loyal to us. He is stuck up for us, which is, by the way, good coaching. Other players hear that around the league because there's a false sense of accountability from coaches that we all hear and stuff like that. But Sirianni just blatantly lying for his players publicly, like that is something that can maybe bring a locker room together even tighter and play their best ball. He thinks they're close. Chuck, you've obviously looked at this Philadelphia Eagles team over the year. And I think you even came into me and said, hey, I did a little bit more research on this Philadelphia Eagles team if you want to talk about it. What do you think's going on in Philadelphia? And what do you think is the right fix over there?
Yeah, so anytime, you go back to the end of last year, after the loss in the Super Bowl, when you have success, you're going to lose good people. So we know they lost their offensive coordinator who's here in Indy, Shane Steichen.
Great.
Big loss, right? Really John Gannon, they lose their defensive coordinator. They're number 1, number 2 in the National Football League on defense. He's in Arizona.
Great, allegedly.
Yeah.
Like what we're all thinking, right?
Playing hard.
That's what they're saying?
It certainly looks like it. That team, forget the record. All you're looking for, because that was
effort.
They blew the thing up. Effort.
And they're giving.
And they play.
Yeah.
They play.
And that's
the way the quarterback came back and played, I didn't see that coming. I don't know if anybody saw that coming.
No.
Like him coming back and actually playing the way he's playing.
Motivated, I think, too. Which, by the way, goes back to coaching. And I think Kyler actually came out and said, I would run through a wall.
Said the connection was instant.
For him and Coach Gannon.
Yeah.
So that I assume Coach Gannon had in Philly as well. You take that. Shane Steichen, by the way, same way here in Philly. So you lose 2 glue guys as well.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Right? No nonsense guy. Treat you fair, not throw you under the bus, like they're talking about Nick. Dive on the sword for you. But behind closed doors, pull you in and say, hey, look, you ain't playing worth a shit, or you're doing this really good. And behind closed doors, you and I both know, AJ knows this, that you can, if there's a relationship there and there's trust there, you can tell each other whatever, right? We've had some really good conversations, right?
Good, yes.
But as long as that respect is there and that trust is there and I give a shit about you and I love you and vice versa, then you can have those. And so I think that's probably happening in Arizona. I think that probably happened last year. I'm not going to say whether it's happening this year or not, but when you have staff changes, so in comes Desai, defensive coordinator. Brian Johnson gets elevated as the offensive coordinator. You lose not only Gannon, but you lose assistant coaches. Nick Rallis is his defensive coordinator. I believe he was an assistant there with him. The secondary coach that was there, I think probably wanted that job, didn't get that job as DC. So he goes, he leaves. He's in Baltimore now, which I think has pretty good defense. Pretty good secondary. So you got a lot of turnover there. Communication-wise, you got personnel, right? 2 safeties that were dogs last year. CJ, GJ is in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Been hurt a little bit, but he's a dog. Epps is in Vegas. 2 big safeties. Hargrave went to San Francisco. You got personnel changes.
And Dominican Sue.
You got Sue gone. So there's personnel changes. So then there's just schematic stuff, what you're going to do scheme-wise. So you bring in a senior defensive assistant in Matt Patricia. That's happening a lot. So that's not like uncommon. That's happening a lot in the National Football League.
What is it? You get a young DC?
So you get whoever. Might be young, might be old. Like, who are we talking about? Foxy, John Fox, right?
Yeah.
Legendary, right? He comes to Indy a year ago. I think he's now in Detroit, Foxy, if I'm not mistaken. But they pair him up with somebody to come in. Hey, I got an old sage, been around the block, coached, been in Super Bowl, this, that, and the other. Not only for the head coach to bounce stuff off of with your experiences. What am I missing here? Go in, close the door, have a conversation, but then help out a young defense coordinator, a young staff. So you got a lot going on there. And as we all know, if you start to slide and you lose one, you lose two, then everything, they start coming at you from all angles. And inside, you're trying to figure out, okay, do I listen to this? Blinders, earmuffs? And it starts to seep in a little bit. And then there's self-doubt. And then there's change, so you can't, and then you have a turnover, a couple of weeks ago, they demote Desai.
Oh, yes. Matt Patricia's now calling plays.
And to Sean's defense, he went up in the box that game. I think they were on the road at Seattle. Was that the first?
Yeah, and they played well all game, and then they gave up the 98-yard touchdown, or 92-yard touchdown drive.
Yep. And he handled it like a pro. You can imagine how hard that would be. Usually if they make a change like that, like you're out the door. And we're moving on. But he stayed on. He totally professional. And Matt comes in, and they haven't been better. It hasn't changed. It's looked worse at times. So
you have you actually sent in a couple plays actually here for Matt Patricia's defense. Now, Coach Patricia obviously has to work within the framework of the defense that's already been installed, but he's got to call the plays pretty much, right? And this is the first play of a game in Week 17 of a defense. Week 17 of a defense here. Go ahead, Chuck. What do you see here?
Yeah. So 1st and 10. It's single high. Anybody can see that, right? You got eight in the box. It's 12 personnel on Arizona. It's a run look. I believe, I can't see the number, but I'm guessing that's James Conner in the backfield, right? So you got an early down situation. You want to do it?
No, you can do it if it's working.
So you run the clip here. I'm going to run it back. So the guy that's highlighted right here, if we pause that.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy that's highlighted there, okay, pause it. That's Avonte Maddox. He's the starting nickel back. So they're in nickel personnel versus 12. Okay, so his responsibility, I'm going to say this is cover 3, single high, corners have deep thirds. He's got the flat up top. He's a curl flat defender. But if it's run, all right, they got a 9 technique outside, a wide 9. Okay, if you highlight the right end, defensive end on a 2-point stance, I think that's Sweat.
Yep.
Okay, so he's in a wide 9. So if they run away and they turn out on Sweat, which they do in this instance, they turn out on him. If you can run it a few seconds before the play action ends, stop it here. So there's the play action, right? His eyes are on the tight end. So the tight end's blocking. If they hand this ball off, my responsibility is a C-gap. It's inside. Now, he overreacts to this, all right, because of the play action, whatever. He should have kind of a feel for receiver releasing up the field, but everything's telling him. So I got C-gap. So I overreact to that. I'm still in a crossover, okay? And then you let it go, Pat. And then you're going to have this guy's in the flat. The other tight end's on a crosser. There's absolutely nobody in the flat. So
that's first play of the game.
Yeah. And I can get, he's probably back. He's been injured. He's frothing at the mouth to go hit James Conner. The tendency probably said, hey, On 1st and 10, Matt Price set up there on 1st and 10, 12 personnel. James Conner, he's at 7 yards deep. This is a run. Okay, play run, 70%, 80% run. So he overreacts. We don't have anybody in the flat.
Okay, and let's go to another play here.
And there's 20-yard gain, right?
Let's go to another play that maybe.
So now you've got a 3rd and 6 situation. Not to cut you off. I apologize.
No, you should. Yeah.
Go back to the start, and we can kind of explain what's going on here. So they've got everybody up at the line of scrimmage, right? It looks like a cover 0 look. If you count those guys at the line, you've got one guy over here. This deep safety's over the top of this. Could be 0, could be a zone pressure. They like that kind of stuff. Matt done it in his history at Detroit, all the way back to New England. Desai has run this. To your point, you can't change everything midstream. You can change a coach, but he's basically going to work with the same defense, the same fronts and coverages. So they start in an empty set here, and so there's some confusion here where, okay, who's got this guy man-to-man? So I'm guessing before the ball snapped, right? That guy on the right side of the line of scrimmage that's moving with the motion, I'm guessing he's got that guy man-to-man. Okay, I'm not in the meeting. So before he goes, so once he goes, he's thinking, shit, I got to go from the right inside, because what he's probably thinking is if they don't snap, I'm going to cover this guy or pressure rush him. So once he goes, he runs across the formation because I've got this guy man-to-man. Well, 41 and him obviously aren't on the same page because he's looking back to the deep safety saying, is this my responsibility? Are you guys taking this? Is he running all the way over across from the other side of the ball to take this, or should I take this? Takes a guy out of the rush. It puts 2 guys on a decoy, and then there's nobody, okay, sitting in the window for that throw on 3rd and 6. So it's an easy pitch and catch, and a guy from deep safety has to make this tackle, and it's a first down. So those are things like, this is probably a good call, good scheme, but from a practice standpoint, if you got a lot going in, you know with practice time, you only get so many reps. You only get so many 3rd down reps. Like Thursday is a 3rd down day, a 2-minute day, a little bit of red area. Friday's big red area. So you're going to get maybe 20 snaps. You have walkthroughs, but do you have time to actually that call?
Do you think that's fixable?
Versus empty, versus 1 back, versus 2x2, 3x1?
We're going into week 18. You think it's fixable?
It has to be.
But what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think as a coach, and Matt's going to do this along with Sean and Nick, is you got to go back and say, okay, when you evaluate these plays, not the first one, but this 3rd and 6 one, did we give the players a chance? Did we run that play in a walkthrough? Did we run it in practice? And did we show them against that formation? How many formations did they see it? You may have ran it one time, and it was a simple far gun 3x1. 3 receivers one side, 1 receiver, no motion. And boy, it worked in practice. But all of a sudden, they come out and empty, then they go orbit motion. Maybe they didn't see that.
Got it. So he's thinking that maybe when Matt Patricia drops in there, a different voice, obviously different understanding, the boys don't have the year-long build-up that everybody else seems to have. Because in Week 17, first play of the game, obviously that's just one player going out of the way. That's a terrible start. And then in the same first quarter, they have 2 guys going to the same spot looking bad. It's like you're getting out-schemed right now. Yeah. Like they are out-scheming you, it seems that way. Matt Patricia, we talked about this earlier, he was a defensive legend whenever he was with the New England Patriots. How many years ago was that?
That was 2017, I want to say, was his last year, because 2018 was the B-Flow defense that beat the Rams.
So good, got a head coaching job as a defense coordinator, which is obviously, we know how the world was running at that point. We need a young offensive guy to kind of take over this entire thing. It does not work at Detroit at all, just like every other Belichick disciple seemingly. And then now he goes back to New England. He signs off on Mac Jones.
Yep.
That was the last one. That was the last okay. Remember Bill Belichick wearing a suit, goes around the group to Kraft, somebody else, and then Matt Patricia.
Matt, good.
What do you think? Good?
Yep.
Send it.
And
then now he's consulting at the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's like he's going to need an offseason, I think, at least with the team, if he's going to want to call it to have any chance at all. But there's not a lot of success seemingly happening, and a lot of confusion happening under his watch here.
Yeah, really weird, especially both those plays being in those first 3 minutes of that defense being on the field. But it feels like the Eagles and the Chiefs are the 2 teams that everyone kind of universally won't be out of just because of who they have and, the players that are on the team. Because by all accounts, coming into this year with Jalen Carter still on the D-line and Jordan Davis still on the D-line, then they take Nolan Smith also in the first round. Like, it's not as if they lost those guys, which are huge players and rookies. They're getting their feet wet, but it felt like they replaced him and they were going to kind of just plug and play and everything was going to be good. And that's why, like, Patricia, having a DC change this late in the season, like, that doesn't feel like it can be fixed no matter what, no matter who's on defense, no matter who the coach is in general. Like, if you're a DC and you're coming in week 15, like, okay, now I'm going to get into my bag this season calling plays when nobody on this field has even heard me through, whether it be the year set or even in practice, kind of leading it.
Yeah, and also scripting. What's his script? What's it look like? What's he like to run? What are his tendencies? If they're running hurry up, what does he like to do? What does he not like to do? And you got guys all over the place. Not an easy task for Matt Patricia, but also not a good sign, at this time of year for this to be happening for any team, let alone a team we had very high hopes for.
We talked about accountability on the show. We talked about it yesterday, and we got it in bunches, okay? Chuck was like, are the coaches putting them in the right position? That was your angle there after that. D-Bud then texted in, it's on the players at this point in the season. Can't be effing up simple shit like that. Rondale Moore is always in motion. So he was taking accountability from the players.
And then we heard A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Wait, is accountability back? Are we all accountability buddies to each other?
Might be.
Sounds like it.
I like that accountability is potentially back. People saying, I'm sorry that what happened.
Said that multiple times.
Yeah, I do. Live, what do we? But accountability being back is a big thing.
Huge.
Yeah. And it made, to be honest, not that A.J. Brown was heel ever, but that was an incredibly baby-faced press conference from his locker room with all his game balls behind him.
Yeah.
He had all
He'll take those home.
He's a good player.
I don't know. Is that a reminder, you think?
Probably.
He's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, still that guy.
When guys do some meetings, we've had some guys, and they'll have their trophies behind them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then obviously with our ADD show, we are immediately going to, what's that? What's that one right over there? When'd you win? Oh, that one? I was considered the greatest human of all time 1 year.
That's cool.
Oh, okay. I would hang that as well. What if that's what A.J. Brown's move is? Well, I always do my media right in front of my locker. Just a quick little reminder over both shoulders. A lot of games won. A lot of big plays made by me.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, it's on us. This is not on the coaches. I don't know if it's fixable. Chuck Pagano says it has to be. I hope that's the case. I don't know how many reps you can get everybody on the same page, but I think accountability in the locker room is definitely good news. Let's go to some comments that are made from some coaches that we enjoy.
Ooh.
Absolute meatheads. Here's MCDC talking to a radio personality earlier this week. And listen to Dan Campbell coming fresh off a devastating loss to the Dallas Cowboys.
So after that play, you had said, you told the offense, you're going for 2 on the final drive if you score. But from the 7, and looking back, was there a point of no return where you lay down your sword and kicked the extra point? Do you regret at all the decision to go for it from the 7?
Yeah, I told our offense, I think I said this before, and we're going for the win. And we're going to go down, we're going to score, and we're going for 2. And I wasn't coming off of that.
So if it was 10 or 15, like a holding penalty, you still would have gone for it?
No. If we're getting outside the 10, no.
Okay, that's why I'm asking.
Outside the 10 every week, good on good. We do it every week. O versus D.
Yeah, when you got the penalty, you
go ahead and say it. Say it.
Say it, man.
What?
Say it. Say what you want to say.
I think from the 7, it's a low percentage play. I think your chances of winning are lower than if you kick the extra point.
I would like you would say it to anybody else. I'm on the radio. Say it like you want to say it.
I thought it was a reckless decision.
Thank you.
Okay, but you don't regret it.
Thank God that was radio.
So good.
All right, hour 2 will be on the other side. MCDC, keep it going, man. Just abnormal. Nobody else is doing that.
No.
He's fantastic. I see him shirtless with some dip in. We'll be back on the other side with AJ Hawk and Coach Saban. See you then.
Pat McAfee's sell on your stunner at WrestleMania. Stunner! Where does that rank all time? That's got to be pretty up there.
Man, top 3. And I got to say top 3 because The Rock, number 1, the way he oversold, and Scott Hall and some of the other guys that took it. But Pat has a natural feel for the business, epic performer, great on the stick.
I apologize that you're a punk bitch.
Athletically, that match he had with Theory was awesome. And then the kicker was not only the sell of the stunner, but to lay there selling, still guzzling the beer, the presence of mind to ad lib and improvise and like this is a moment without even thinking about it, I think is amazing. He's very entertaining, and as a human being, I like him a whole lot. And here's an off the record story. The second night that we were at Mania, I was just planning on drinking whiskey with my Broken Skull Sessions crew. And so we had a bottle all lined up, and we were just going to drink during the show and show respect to the people that were working. Well, Vince called me into his room and said, hey, man, would you come out in the end, stun me, McAfee, and Theory? And I said, sure. So I couldn't drink until after the show. Okay, so the show happens. I go out there, stun all those cats. Brock Lesnar gets done with his match, the main event with Roman Reigns. And me and Brock have been wanting to bond together and have a few cocktails to begin with. And he goes, hey, man, you got anything? I said, yeah. I said, where are we meeting? He goes, my locker room. So it was myself, Brock Lesnar, Larry, one of the trainers who's been there forever. You know Larry? And Pat McAfee.
What a day, what a dream, what a life. Now I'm going to have a couple more Steve Weisers. What? Maybe a little whiskey. What?
And we took down a fifth. We just passed the bottle around. At first we were drinking out of little cups. Then it just turned into the bottle. And we took down a fifth at Maker's Mark in about an hour. And then we all went our separate ways.
Hey, fucking
And I heard through the grapevine that a couple of those guys woke up with severe headaches.
Really? And I don't want to undersell this. Really hungry. You know what I mean?
From what you had inside the ring that we saw on camera, and then what was there a thing afterwards?
Well, you know, there might have been, yeah, a lot afterwards.
But it was a bonding moment, after a big show like that of four guys, and I've just barely met Pat, but he was already one of the boys because of his football background and how everybody, the WWE has taken to him. And me and Brock's relationship goes back a long way, as does Larry. So it was a good time, and that was one of my highlights of WrestleMania, a behind-the-scenes moment that I shared with you.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Coach Saban Thursday, January 4th, 2024. Hour 2 begins now. Football! It's already January 4th, 2024.
Wow.
These days are stacking up. They're moving quickly. The time is right, and the energy is perfect for football to be at its peak. We have a massive Week 18 for the NFL Saturday and on Sunday. And then on Monday, we will crown a national champion of the college football season, which has been spectacular. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here, and a man who coached football for 36 years, 18 in college, 18 in the NFL, the people's coach, our coach, a man who had a 4-1 record against the spread this season, picking Thursday night football games. Chuck Pagano.
Boy, Chuck.
Hey, we're winning.
We're winning.
Remember, you waffled that one time.
Yeah, it was brutal.
You would have won then, too.
Patriots.
Paid for that one, too.
Hey, but congrats to you, Coach.
Unbelievable.
Way to go. That was never a dot or two, those last two. You were really starting to see the field well.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Got lucky.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's the case. And we'll continue to ride that hot hand, hopefully through the playoffs as we go on. Joining us now from Manatee, Ohio, is a man who is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner. Some people called him Muppet, I believe, in some of the articles I saw.
Yeah, Muppet.
Human Muppet, I believe. I don't think that's the case. Maybe a human beast.
Hell yeah.
Man who beat COVID multiple times. Current president of Ohio, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah.
What's up? Good to be, I did not read the. What does that mean if I'm a Muppet? Is that a positive or is that a negative?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it means you're.
I'll take it positive.
It's like a puppet.
I'll take this quote from a fantastic human being. I choose not to be offended. You know what I mean?
Here we go. Here we go.
It's
all on how we take it, right? It's how we take it.
That's an AJ Hawk quote right there.
Yes, it is.
You'll see that in a book. You obviously see that on walls everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I choose not to be offended. That is a great thing. There's some real offensive stuff being said, though. I mean, I was choosing a lot last night not to be. I'm pretty offended by that one. That one seems to be a little ill-intended there. Seems like a little meanness coming through it. But obviously the program is going to continue to march on, and we're lucky to do so. We got a chance to chat with Brad Marchand, captain of the number one team in the NHL in the first hour. And now we're getting an opportunity to chit-chat with a man who is the greatest of all time at the position in which he holds. Not only is he a 7-time national champion, he's the current, reigning, defending, undisputed SEC champion. A man who guided his team to the college football playoff but came up short against a stud-filled Michigan football team in the Rose Bowl just a few days ago. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach of Alabama, Nick Saban.
Yeah, coach.
How we doing today, guys?
Coach, listen. So thankful you're joining us today. I didn't know. I had no idea. Sent the text last night. I'm like, is Coach going to stop by? They said absolutely. Thank you for that. It's great to see you, Coach.
Yeah.
It is great to see you.
Always good to be here. I always enjoy you guys for a few minutes.
I understand. We will keep the shot clock on for sure. The play clock will continue to roll on. As you look back on the season now, a couple of days removed, I don't know if you got a chance to reflect at all. SEC champion, obviously had a newer team, had an early loss. How will you view it? Have you got a chance to do that yet? Have you got to reflect on everything that happened this past season thus far?
That's pretty much like I said to the players in the locker room after the game. You know, everybody's very disappointed that we didn't finish the game. We had opportunities in the game. We got exposed in some areas up front, and too much pressure on the quarterback. Couldn't stop them in the end when we needed to. But everybody needs to remember that this team has come a long way. You guys accomplished a lot winning the SEC championship. So let's don't forget what we were able to accomplish, even though everybody's disappointed right now.
Yeah, and anytime you lose the last game of the season, people are going to be disappointed, which is a good thing. You want your team to have that type of mindset. Those are the type of guys you want. A lot of greatness was had by your team, and it seems like we're going to propel into next year in a fantastic way. Let's talk about that pressure on Jalen Milroe. Did it surprise you how good their D-line was? Was it a surprise? Did you think going into the game that was going to be the case with Jalen Milroe getting it? It was first play, I think third play. It came out hot and early. We were there.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was Jalen Milroe's necessarily all his fault.
Of course.
It was, they just starfire. We're supposed to be first play of the game. We're supposed to be sliding, that way. Tackle slides, guard doesn't. Quarterback gets blown up. Third play of the game, they pressured us. We didn't pass off the game inside. So, and once your quarterback starts getting affected a little bit, even though it's not necessarily his fault completely, it's tough to play. And we got to the point in the game where, we didn't have a lot of confidence in being able to throw the ball, not because of our skill guys, but our inability to protect. And we did run the ball pretty effectively in the game. But to answer your question, I was not surprised by their front seven, the quality of down people they have, especially their inside players. Those guys do a really good job. They got a good scheme. They're really well coached, and they did a nice job of defending us. And, one of the things that was a big difference in this game, which nobody ever talks about, and it's a very simple thing. And, Chuck probably would agree with me on this one, is we're in no huddle. All right. And when you play a no huddle team and you're not going fast, which we didn't go fast enough, then their signal caller is basically making calls to defend the formation and the alignment that you're in. They're the only team that we played all season that got in a huddle. So, it used to be every team was in a huddle. So we play our first game of the season where we're playing against a team that's in a huddle. So you don't have the advantage of seeing those formations until they come out of the huddle. So you got to make calls. And, that's something that's changed a lot in football. The simple concept of do you huddle or go no huddle? But it does affect the game in a way that most people wouldn't even imagine.
Go ahead, AJ.
That's interesting to hear you say that, Coach. Now, we were on the sidelines, and we were coming back after the halftime break, and we were speculating on what your message might have been to the team, and we were thinking, hey, guys, we're not, for your team, like, we're not playing great, we're not executing like we should, but we're still only down 3, so it's almost like a positive. What was your message? Because you guys did kind of come out hot and had a spark on offense.
Well, that's exactly what I told the team. I said, we're not playing Alabama football. We're not executing very well. We're not playing with great intensity. I said, you guys are all hooting and hollering in here before the game. That's like whistling by the graveyard, man. I mean, you got to go compete. You got to go execute in the game. You got to have discipline to execute. So, but after all that being said, and us not playing very well, it's 13-10. So if we go out and play Alabama football in the second half, we got a great chance to win this game. So, and we did from the beginning of the second half all the way until 4:41 left to go in the game. We played pretty well. Now, the big thing in the game to me, that when we got ahead 17-13, we had the ball 3 or 4 times and never scored to make it a 2-score game. Kicked a field goal, but it still makes it a 1-score game. And then when we had to stop them in the end on defense, we didn't do it.
Yeah, the overtime ended pretty quickly. I don't think any of us expected that. That Blake Corum run was phenomenal once we watched the film back. And I think Chuck will have a question about the end of overtime. I'm excited to hear you two break that down. The reason why I was celebrating is because as we were calling the field pass thing on the sideline, we actually gave your speech at halftime while we were standing over there. Now, we didn't deliver it, obviously, anywhere near as smart as you, but that was our big takeaway as well. Going in halftime, it's like, hey, this Alabama team has not played well at all, pretty much anywhere. The offense has been pretty kind of Houdini'd out of the way, except for the one Jace McClellan run. On defense, J.J. McCarthy was throwing fast. It felt like Blake Corum was running, and it was only down 3. I'm happy to hear that we're on to say, hey, we know you, Coach. Coach, I think we know you a little bit, which is good. Not everything, obviously. We're nowhere near as intelligent as you. But whenever your team comes out, you have that freshman running back kind of start. Haynes?
Justice Haynes.
Haynes, I think is his name. And we obviously did a lot of research on this game because we were calling it. And when he gets lined up in the backfield, we're like, all right, nobody did any research on this. Why did you drop him in there? Seemed to be a spark. Is that a decision? Is that why? And how did he kind of earn that spot from the season to the Rose Bowl?
Well, he's been an outstanding player for us all year long. But, the running back position was a little bit of a logjam for us. We had 4 guys that were all really good players. And at some point in time in the season, each one of those guys sort of had a little injury or was out, so it worked out. And in this last game, Roy Dell, number 5, was had a little bit of a bad ankle, so that kind of opened the door for 22. But when he had the chances to play in the past, he played very well. And I think he has a very bright future, and I think he's going to be a really, really good player. Jace McClellan was down the week before in the SEC championship, or the game before in the SEC championship. So didn't get to play as much. We thought we should have played him more. So took advantage of his opportunity and played really well.
He did. We enjoyed watching him immediately upon getting onto the field. And now you talk about him. He's going to be back, obviously, young guy. Jalen's going to be back. We saw him immediately after the game. He was devastated, obviously. Competitor with the year that it was, how it ended. He's going to be back motivated. There's some guys that aren't, though. Tone has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, it feels like this offseason or just the end of the season might be a little different for you, because it feels like normally you have guys that are like, okay, they're absolutely going to the NFL draft, but it feels like this year you might have more tweeners, whether they should go to the NFL draft or come back. Do they come to you and ask you for advice if they think you should have them go to the NFL? And how hard is that, just being honest with a kid saying, maybe I feel like you should come back, or if you should go to the NFL?
Well, my whole approach, being an NFL guy to some degree and understand the league, is I try to get 25 teams to give us grades on all of our draft eligible guys. So the reason we always leave practice open, because I tell the NFL just the opposite of, some coaches, that I want you guys to come to practice. I want you to evaluate all of our players, because I'm going to call you and ask you, where you're going to pick this guy. So I can give them good information so they can make a business decision. And we try to, give our guys the advice based on the business side of it. The money goes down in the draft very quickly. There's no developmental league in football like there is in basketball or hockey or basketball, G League, whatever. So, your development has to occur in college. And your security comes based on guaranteed money. Well, if you're not going to be a first or second round draft pick, you don't have the guaranteed money to guarantee your roster spot. It's a business decision, but a lot of these guys, make emotional decisions. But the one thing about staying in college now is the quality of life's a lot better because of name, image, and likeness. So you're not poor when you're going to college, like was once the case for a lot of guys. And so they don't have to make emotional, rash decisions about going to the league. But we do advise them. They do all come and see me. I give them the information. I gave them the information after the SEC championship game. We're trying to be open about this. We have forums where we set up meetings with agents for them, and we have agent education programs. So we're doing everything we can to help them make good decisions and choices. But and at the end of the day, it's whatever's in their heart, because if they come back and it's not in their heart, they won't improve their draft status anyway. So, but it is a business decision, and we try to encourage them to use that information to make a decision that's going to be best for their career.
Pretty big decision, only going to affect the rest of your life. You know, so it is massive. I appreciate how much effort you spend in making sure you get them the right answer. You saying 25 teams send back grades. I don't know how many other people are doing that. And obviously, there's a reason why Alabama has become the NFL factory that it is, because you handle the transition from college into the NFL so well. But let's talk back about what you said. You said these guys aren't poor in college anymore with name, image, likeness. I remember getting out a loan for $40,000 just to have a good time. I was on full scholarship. Didn't want to ask my parents for any money. And if I end up not making the NFL, I'll be in debt like everybody else. And if I make the NFL on that 25% interest loan, I'll be able to pay it back at some point. So that was kind of my give and take on it all. But now with name, image, likeness, that is being a reason that is brought up for why you want to get the hell out of college football. Obviously, another offseason has come. So now the conversation goes to Coach Saban might be done, might be retiring. With how that game ended, did that have any effect on your future thoughts or opinions? Have you obviously thought about that throughout the last few years? And why do you think it gets brought up every single year as if you were going to be done?
Well, because I'm getting old, I guess.
You look good, though, Coach. You look good.
Look, I ask everybody that asks me that question, are you going to be here for 4 years? Some players ask me, when you're going to retire. I look at them and say, well, can you guarantee me that you're going to be here for 4 years? And they look at me like, hell no, I'm not making that. Whatever, get a better deal someplace else. So, and I just think it's the way of the world now that, college football has changed dramatically, especially in the last 3 or 4 years. And roster management, guys getting in the portal, pay for play is definitely alive and well. I mean, name, image, and likeness has really become pay for play. As soon as you allow collectives to be a part of what you're allowed to give to a player, and look, I'm all for improving the quality of life of players. I think they do a lot for the university, and I think they should be compensated in some way for that. But I also think there needs to be some kind of competitive balance associated with who spends what you can pay a player. Does anybody have a contract that obligates them to do things? Because, what happened in the Florida State-Georgia game, and, Kirby, this happened to him a few years ago when they played Texas, is you got all these guys opt out of the game. It's not good for college football. It's not good for bowl games. It's not good for fans. It's not good for college football. And I'm not criticizing the players who chose not to do it, but, it's just not good for college football that people aren't obligated to fulfill some kind of an obligation to their team. Every competitive league, every competitive venue has some kind of rules that are guidelines for how we have to treat people and what their obligation is to the team.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because I brought this up. Now, that score ended up being 63-3. And I don't know if you caught all the chatter and conversation from the Florida State fans, but they were very passionate and loud about how mad they were that they weren't in the college football playoff. They could have been one of the only teams alongside Liberty that could have ended their year as undefeated. There was a lot on the line, but they still had opt-outs, and obviously business decisions were made by people. You do what you have to do. But last year, in a similar situation, Bryce Young played, Will Anderson played for your program. Why do you think that was the case? Why do you think that happens, and how do we get that happening in more places, you think, Coach?
Well, yeah, it was the approach that we took. I mean, a lot of Florida State people called me. I got thousands of phone calls and bad text messages and called every name in the book. And Miss Terry even got called a few names.
No, nobody's talking about Miss Terry. Nobody's talking about Miss Terry.
They did. We got in the playoffs and they didn't. And I was, I saw a Florida State fan, when I was recruiting in Florida. And he kind of gave me the business. And I said, hey, look, we were left out last year. We lost 2 games. We ended up 5th. We were the last team out. And we had a pretty good team. We lost 2 games on the last play of the game. And, it was our fault that we lost those games, but we got left out. So we had a choice to make. And our players got together and said, hey, we want to go prove in the bowl game that, we should be in the game. We're playing Kansas State. Kansas State beat TCU. And it was our opportunity to go play in the game, and everybody wanted to play. And, we beefed up the insurance for our guys that were draft guys, which, maybe some people wouldn't do, but, our university was willing to do that and make a commitment to those players so they could play and not worry about injury and that type of thing. We went and played and had a lot of fun and had a great game. And a lot of people said, well, maybe they should have been in the playoffs. So I say, you have the same opportunity to do that this year. You're going to play Georgia. All right, if your team all bands together and says we want to go play Georgia and beat them and show that we should be in the playoffs. So, but that didn't happen. But that's why our team came together and played in the game, and the players wanted to play in the game. So,
could you imagine the story that the Florida State undefeated beat the back-to-back national champs too?
Yeah,
that is. I would almost have a parade.
Yeah.
If I was we won the national. I'd make rings. I'd do the whole thing.
Yeah.
We did it. You could have had that opportunity. Instead, 63-3, we'll never be able to have the actual conversation. It's crazy. There's also, in this time period, for coaches is pretty wild. Something you've experienced in the past. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Coach, because you are the godfather of college football, right now is that kind of odd time where teams, seasons are ending and coaches are going to, different schools, but some coaches are going to, make the jump to the NFL. Do guys reach out to you for advice as far as what that transition is like and, how to handle the different, personalities in the NFL versus college football? And also, do you think NIL helps those coaches? Because now when they go to the league, they understand that there is also this other side that is the business that the NFL, has always had and that the NCAA is now just, getting into?
Sometimes on occasion, especially guys that have been on our staff before, they ask a lot about what it's like coaching in the NFL. And, I think it's great to coach in the NFL. I think there was a time when coaching in college lifestyle was probably a little better. I think right now, based on the circumstances that we've created in college football, lifestyle is a little bit better in the NFL. Every guy, some guys love recruiting. They like relationships. They like trying to help guys develop when they're young people, which I've always kind of enjoyed that part of it in college football. But I also really enjoy the competitive edge that the NFL has. You got the best teams, the best players competing against each other. And 70% of the games are, decided by a touchdown or less. So it's really, really great, coaching those kind of competitors and those kind of players. So there's good and bad in both. And I just try to lay that out for guys and say it's kind of, what you choose and what you enjoy doing the most that will make you the most happy.
That early signing period is awesome.
Yeah.
That early signing period is good time, right? That was a good move by college football to add that in there.
Well, it depends, if you look at, you take our month of December, okay, early in December, we play SEC championship game.
Okay.
We go recruit for 2 weeks. We start practicing for college football playoff. And while we're recruiting and practicing and trying to prepare for a game and trying to do a game plan starting December 16th with the December 20th or whatever signing date. You got all these things rolled into one. Not to mention, everybody, when you go home, is worried about who's getting what for Christmas. So all this stuff is rolled into a time period where it is really, really hectic. And then you have a couple of days off for Christmas, and then you get in a plane and go to Los Angeles and practice every day. So that's why I gave our coaching staff a couple of days off. And I know this is a tough transition time for, a lot of players getting in the portal and, trying to manage our roster. But December is a real grind for college coaches.
I was excited to hear how you were going to describe that there. Real grind was the answer. I didn't know if there was different ways to phrase that potentially. I loved you saying, and then, there's Christmas too. Yeah. Cancel. Christmas is canceled because you didn't even add in transfer portal happening at that exact same time. We appreciate your guys' sacrifice for good football.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And if you're able to manage all that and win a game and win a national championship, truly showcases how great an organization and program is. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, you mentioned last year that the school helped kind of beef up insurance policies for some of your players. Is that a common thing? From what I know, it's the individuals that had to go out and get that. Is that something that changed with the NIL, and is that common throughout college football?
It's allowed for us to look. We used to, the NCAA used to allow players to buy insurance when they were rated by the insurance company as a potential draft pick. As time has gone on and we've made more and more player benefits, then we could pay for players' insurance. And, as there's three kinds of player insurance. You got disability insurance, which means you get hurt and your career ends. And then you got loss of value insurance, which is, I was going to get drafted in the first round. I got hurt. I got drafted in the third round. They're supposed to pay me the difference. That's tough to prove and tough to collect on. And then, you got critical injury insurance, which is just like your homeowner's policy. You get an ACL, you get $250,000 or whatever. So instead of us trying to decide who gets what, we used to just pay for insurance. And when Tua got hurt, it changed my whole philosophy on this, and that, hey, that family should have made this decision about what insurance he has. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we just started giving blocks of money to families. If you got a first round grade, you got this much money. You got a second round grade, you got this much money. And you go choose whatever kind of insurance that you want. And it gives the players and the families a better peace of mind. And if they want to add to that, they can.
I got the Lloyds of London the year that I got franchise tagged. I think I paid like $35,000 or something like that for a $20 million insurance policy. I would have had to get my legs sawed off in the middle of a practice, pretty much. But I assume Aflac is hooking it up.
Oh, yeah.
I assume Aflac got that duck coming into that facility. Say, what do you need? How do you need it? That's good news. And with the car dealerships, too.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of insurance. Did you hear him just break down? Obviously, you guys know. Critical loss. You got this. Yeah, hey, that was beautiful there. Yeah. Preaching on some insurance stuff. Now, Chuck has a question for you about the end of that game. He was kind of breaking it down at a different level.
Yeah, Coach, I know you've had to talk about this a lot ad nauseum, to be specific, but the end of that game, we all know what happened, once we ran the last play, but leading up to that, did you anticipate, Michigan, like when you went out the first time, did you anticipate and kind of think like, okay, they're probably going to call a timeout here, going to take the Kodak, as we called it, take a picture of the formation, the personnel group, and then go and get in the exact same, because they're counting on you coming out in the same thing. Did you anticipate that, number one? And then number two, did you give them something on that first formation, that first personnel group, that you knew they were going to take that, and then give them something different? Because I can't remember exactly what the formation was before you guys took the timeout. Can you take us through that again, Coach, the thinking there, the strategy?
Well, actually, I think I did kind of anticipate that they would call timeout. But the first time we went out, we had the look that we wanted to run the play that we wanted to run. They called timeout.
Okay.
We changed what we were going to do. The second time we went out, we changed personnel group and we changed the formation. And we didn't like the look that we got. So we called timeout. But you only get one timeout.
Yeah.
In college and overtime for each overtime session. So the third time we go out, we change personnel again. And I didn't like the look that we got. We couldn't call timeout. We should have looked the play so that when I say look the play, line up in the formation, see what they're in, and have a second thing that you could go to. And we didn't do that. And that was our fault as coaches. And we would have had an opportunity had we blocked. They ran just Eagle Blitz, which you know what Eagle Blitz is. It's just Sam will fire, and it was a gap play, quarterback run. We got knocked back inside and didn't block the guys, kicked the guy out off the edge, didn't collect the people correctly, and got blowed up. So, but Tommy felt good about the quarterback runs because we knew we'd probably get pressure, and we hadn't been blocking their pressure very well all night. So he felt good if we trapped a quarterback run on a pressure, we'd be able to split them, which had been successful at other times in the game.
Yeah, as we're watching it, we're like 11 yards away. As we see it just get muddy. I mean, there was nowhere straight for Milroe to run. But a lot of people now, couch quarterbacks and things like that, they've gone slow-mo on a sky cam. And because guard pulled, Jalen Milroe, if he cuts to the left, now you see the side shot, that would have been an incredible cut. I mean, he would have had to have done it so fast, so quick, and ran a 4-1 potentially sideways right there to get around where the guard. Go ahead.
And it wasn't a great snap. I mean, it was a low two-lace snap, which now you don't have your eyes up, so it makes it harder to make those kind of cuts.
Hey, that was happening all game. I don't even know what was going through your mind. We were talking about it. Even on Jace's touchdown, that was a low snap that he had to pick it up. And obviously, Chase has been a great ball player for you guys. That's something we have a former NFL center that said it can become, you start overthinking it a little bit. Do you think that was taking place throughout it? And did you talk to him? How'd that convo go?
That's something that's been a little bit of an issue for us all year long. Yeah. When you go on a clap and you use that as a noise cadence, every time somebody hits a pad on defense, they're not allowed to clap on defense, which is actually what happened in the Auburn game when we got behind the 8 ball before the 4th and 31 play when the ball got snapped and the quarterback wasn't ready for it and we had a huge loss. They actually did clap on defense. They weren't doing it intentionally. The safety was just trying to get the linebacker's attention. And it's a common thing, but it is a penalty. But Michigan was not clapping. But our center was thinking that somebody was making a noise that sounded like a clap, and he was snapping the ball early sometimes and when we weren't ready for it sometimes. So that's a huge issue for a quarterback.
Okay, yes, for a whole offense, especially when it's built on timing and everything like that. And we hope Chase, I believe he's entered the transfer portal, they said, can get through it. That's a no fun mental battle happening in his head. But yeah, I didn't know that was taking place. Early snaps happening in semifinal game is certainly not desirable. And as we let you go enjoy your life, and we can't thank you enough for the season that we've had together, and I assume we'll see you on Monday. We have no idea what your schedule is. Will you utilize this game, obviously, as motivation for the entire offseason? Like, does this now immediately become the messaging for the entire offseason as Jalen comes back and everything? Have you kind of pieced that together yet, or are we still enjoying life from what we accomplished last season?
Well, we're not enjoying life after getting beat, I can tell you that. But, I think it's always a motivation for you when the season doesn't end like you want it to. Players are usually hungry and want to prove something, and hopefully that'll be the case with our team. But I think the big thing right now is trying to manage the roster and keep the team together as best we can.
All right, Coach. Well, enjoy the hell out of yourself. Please tell Miss Terry we appreciate her efforts today, as she was the one that set up this call. What a lovely, awesome lady. And anybody that was saying anything negative about Miss Terry needs to have their speaking rights revoked forever.
Yep. Got the tongue out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Nick Saban. Thank you, pal.
Yeah, Coach.
Have a good one, man. See you later.
You got it. See you, Coach. We're not having a good time after getting.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to let you know. Just let's not even. Are we having a good time? I actually am FaceTiming my coach. I don't even know how to FaceTime. Just to see if they're smiling when they answer a phone. Hey, we are not happy.
Yeah.
We are not happy. We lost the game. 24/7, they got to do it. I liked whenever he brought up, the college lifestyle coaching, not as good
Not anymore.
at this point as what the NFL lifestyle is. And that's what Paul Feinbaum has been basically hammering home, saying that this could be Saban's swan song this last game. They said he could be done, or at least very, very soon. But that's been being said about him for a long time. That guy loves football.
Absolutely.
Addicted to making guys better, too, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. And he said, I asked the guys, you going to be here for 4 years? And they go, well, I'm not going to make that commitment. He said, me neither. What are we even talking about? I appreciate that answer out of him.
Absolutely. And it's fair of him to say, hey, you going to promise that you're going to stay around for 4 years?
Yeah. How about that
Kodak? They sign 1-year contracts now.
Well, it used to be 1-year contracts as
For a
well. Coaches could
scholarship,
pull the scholarship after every single year, but they wouldn't do that because normally you'd lose the high school forever.
The recruiting kills you.
Yeah,
Trying to
bingo.
run guys off.
Bingo. Now, granted, there's
Burn
ways
too
to
many
do that.
bridges.
There's ways to do that. Cardio sessions maybe that are specifically for you.
Little Airdyne.
Yeah. You sure you want to still play football for us, or you want to potentially get out of here? I couldn't even imagine what that's like now, especially with the money being made by potential people that are bust. But whenever you talk to him about that Kodak and everything, I think there was a couple different times where he thought we were definitely scoring here. And then that last one, before the plays even had, he's looking up at the Jumbotron, and he's looking on the field. He's looking on Jumbotron, looking on the field.
And can't do anything.
Yeah.
This ain't what we wanted. Now, how about Jim Harbaugh and the boys over there, though? He said they called timeout, came in different formation. They liked their formation, but didn't like what Michigan had out there. So they had to guess what the next play was going to be. He said he did 3 different plays in a press conference after the game. That's a lot for that moment right there, 4th and 3, 4th and goal from the 3.
Absolutely. But when he said at the very end, I wish we would have gone out with a check with me, do that. And the other thing was okay, with the clap deal, why not the silent count with the guard looks and points a finger and I bet you move on from that, right?
Well, and also those refs wouldn't have called, sometimes those guards, if they're doing too much movement, call false start or whatever, especially if you drop it in late in the game like they were doing that whole time. These refs aren't calling anything the entire game.
At all. No, but that's something everybody's got to look at now because that's an issue to me just listening to it. Okay. So
Pat White did the clap. And then they started doing fake claps because not everybody can hear the clap, but they can see the motion of the clap. Because I was always like, why are you doing a fake clap? You look like Tony Robbins.
You get a jump on it, right? As an edge rusher?
Yeah, bingo. Because it became predictable or whatever. I'm like, but you're obviously not clapping. And they're like, well, there's some people standing at different areas where they can't hear it, first of all.
Like going on 2? Is it trying to go on 2? It's their fake clap?
Yeah, it's like a boom, we're going on 2 there, and everything acts the normal, everybody. It's like a hard count for the clap count or whatever, because you can't do actual clap because then people don't know if it's the first clap or the second. Did I miss the first clap or did I miss the second clap? And the thought of hitting pads, like D linemen, you can make that a natural...
Oh, yeah.
Poof, just like J.J. Watt would be, every single play would be trying to figure out how he can motivate a teammate. That sounds exactly like a clap. What a scene, man. Just how many things go into every single play? Like the center. Well, I don't know if that's, so he's probably not confident as he's snapping that thing.
How could you be?
Was that the case? I don't remember. Oh, no. In Auburn game.
And
also, these guys are all over us, too. The second I snap this ball, hopefully it's a good snap, we're giving first play of the game. These guys are really good and really fast in front.
Do not want to be in that position ever in my life.
You know what's crazy, too, is in this college offense, they couldn't go under center either. They couldn't just go under center and take a snap just to take out all that.
The huddling thing was interesting,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Talk about
Started
Michigan.
to cut you off, Tone.
Yeah, but you're right. He was talking about that, and Connor was going to ask about the in-ear thing, if that potentially will lead to more of that, taking place, more pro-style type offense. But I did appreciate him acknowledging that as something that got us. That got us a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
First team all year, and it's, in the Rose Bowl. That's brutal. And you mentioned Feinbaum bringing up Saban. Feinbaum, I think it was either today or yesterday, said, yep, Monday is it for Harbaugh. He's gone 100%.
Well, and that's because all the tea leaves are saying Dahn hires. When he's asked about the NFL, he doesn't give the answers. Last year, he's supposed to be with the Broncos. 2 years ago, he's supposed to be with the Vikings.
Yep.
And then Adam Schefter has already kind of started shaping I don't say that's messaging, but it really is messaging.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, Harbaugh wanted to come back, restore greatness at his alma mater. The ultimate Michigan man wanted to bring back the joys of success to a school that he loves and still runs deep in his heart. Now, has he done that? 3 straight college football. Like, that's what Schefter was saying. It was like, oh, that's his baby face out.
Yes.
That's the baby face out, because everything he's been through this year and all the things that Michigan fans have been through alongside of him this year, if he was to leave with how great they've been, if they don't win against Alabama and they don't win against Washington, not saying that's the case. I'm just saying if that happens, it's like still baby face. I did bring them back. That's good messaging, AJ. That's good thought, narrative.
Yeah, very good. It will be interesting to see what Harbaugh does, but also, if Harbaugh leaves, who's coaching Michigan? Did it hire from within or what?
Seriously.
Maybe
Sounds
Sharon.
like a shoe-in, right?
Yeah, should be. And also with what their offense did to Alabama defense with the formation and everything, it's
Either
like
coordinator.
joining us now is a center who might be able to tell us a little bit about what was going on with the Alabama center that we just heard from Nick Saban actually address as a year-long thing, let alone in Auburn and in the Rose Bowl. He's in the transfer portal now. We love Chase. He's been a good guy to us, but certainly didn't have his greatest night snapping the ball. AQ Shipley.
Hey, Q.
Oh, my God.
Whoa. Yeah.
I thought the mirror was your head.
Yep.
I thought the mirror was your head.
Fits perfectly.
Well, not really. It kind of made you look like one of those big head doofuses.
Yeah, idiot.
It looked like you had one of those big. There's a trophy, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's that there? Oh, you want soup? You got Super Bowl
Oh,
champion.
look at that thing.
Super Bowl. What's that? Is that a?
The old Lombo.
Oh,
Replica?
Yeah, there it was. There it was.
Where's the Remington? Is the Remington up there?
It's out in the gym.
Oh, the shipyard. Shipyard. Okay, so Saban talked about the center being an issue all year. I think we saw it happen at the Rose Bowl with the low snaps. It was literally, and even on the last play of the game, it happened. They weren't very much, good for Jalen Milroe to operate as quarterback, and it was tough on timing. He said that had been happening all year. Is that something that just gets in somebody's head? Like, have you ever experienced that? And how does he move on from that? Are they just going to move him to guard and say, hey, you don't have to do this anymore?
You got to find something to get out of it, because yes, it is. It's absolutely one of those things where it's like the yips in golf, right? It's you start to overthink it. It starts to get in your head. There was a period of time. There was a good 5 or 6 weeks where every snap in practice, I used to just, as soon as the play was over, where was the snap? Hey, where was the snap? Where was the snap? Where was the snap? I mean, I was freaking out in my own head, because you have one bad one, and now it starts to get in your head, and you try and guide it, as opposed to doing what's been muscle memory your entire life. And it absolutely ruins you. It absolutely ruins you. And you saw it in that game where it's like once one happens, it's like a waterfall. It just rolls downhill.
Yeah, and Auburn, I guess they're saying he snapped it early because they were going on claps, and Auburn's defense was clapping, but it was to try to get the attention of somebody. It wasn't like for deception, if you will. It was just like a hey. But he said still illegal, but wasn't for a deceptive moment. And then Michigan wasn't clapping, but like sometimes I guess somebody was smacking somebody on the pads. And because how loud Rose Bowl was, it felt like a clap. Have you ever heard that before? And how do you get around that? Because then if he's thinking he's hearing claps, and he's also he's probably not very confident at all. I mean, that's like right? Doesn't that feel like a lot to deal with?
Listen, the clap thing's kind of. I mean, listen, the college people have been doing this for a while, so I think they're more used to it and accustomed to it. But listen, when Cliff Kingsbury became the head coach at Arizona, we went to the clap. And, as Chuck knows, on defense, right, like you try and time your snaps. We do the same thing on offense. So, like, you get into, like, you know what your quarterback's rhythm is of the cadence. That hut, white 80, hut, right? Second white 80, you start to anticipate that snap, and the center can anticipate. But when you're doing the clap, there's nothing to give you an anticipation. So you're just sitting there guessing, right? You're just sitting there waiting for that, and it's like, oh shit, I got to do it immediately, right? And so it's such a tough thing, and I think the college thing, like they're more accustomed to it. But I know whenever it came to the NFL, when Cliff brought it to Arizona, we were like, get this thing out of here. We got to get something to give us something to anticipate something.
Can we breathe for a second? Before can we at least know that we got half a second until the?
I just need something, so I'm not sitting there like that. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. We played Baltimore on the road week 3 in 2019. And I shit you not, I was staring at the Jumbotron, watching Kyler do that so I could sit there and try and time my snaps.
Jeez.
Pointing, staring, jumbo.
Is it on a fake? Is it on a fake one? Is it on two claps?
Well, they got rid of the fake in the NFL. They still allow it in college, but the fake they started calling the false start in the NFL.
Jeez.
Well,
all right. Go ahead.
Ohio State, too, I remember, because at the Georgia game, what they would do is they wouldn't call a play, but they would rush up to the line, and then C.J. Stroud would do the clap. No one moves. Then they look to the sideline, get the play.
It's wild. All deception, all trying to get an edge, and instead, it feels like for the center at Alabama, it just all got out of his head. It was get me out of here. He transferred. I'm not doing it anymore.
He said, I'm out.
I think he's visiting Ohio State. I thought I saw.
I'm not doing it anymore. Jeez. Everybody's attacking me. Get your snap up. Get your snap up. Do you see the monsters that are rushing me right now?
So good.
And I have no idea if they're clapping, not clapping. I have no. Get me out of here. I think the transfer portal is going to do Chase good.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, Chase.
Yep.
Good luck, Chase.
All right, we appreciate you, Super Bowl champion AQ Shipley.
Thank you.
All right, we ran a clip at the end of the hour about MC DC, the head coach of the Detroit Lions, who just suffered a devastating loss, AJ, to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, devastating, to say the least, I would say.
Yeah, especially with how the whole check-in thing happened and reported happened. And we'll ask Chuck about that for a little bit more in-depth of an answer from a head coach who's been in those meetings before at the NFL. But Dan Campbell was on The Fan, 97.1 in Detroit.
Ticket.
There it is. The Ticket, 97.1.
It's always one of the two.
They're on your side. Shout out to Chick McGee. But yeah, the Ticket, 97.1 in Detroit. I assume he does a weekly hit with this group of
He does, yeah.
Okay, so this is like the coach's show in Detroit. And here's the interaction he had with the hosts about the two-point conversion conversation and decisions.
So after that play, you had said, you told the offense, you're going for 2 on the final drive if you score. But from the 7, I mean, and looking back, like, was there a point of no return where you lay down your sword and kick the extra point? Do you regret at all the decision to go for it from the 7?
Yeah, I told our offense, I think I said this before, and we're going for the win. And we're going to go down, we're going to score, and we're going for 2. And I wasn't coming off of that.
So if it was like 10 or 15, like a holding penalty, you still would have gone for it?
No, if we're getting outside the 10, no.
Okay, that's why I'm asking.
Outside the 10 every week, good on good. We do it every week.
Man.
O versus D.
Man.
Yeah, when you got the penalty and move it to
go ahead and say it.
Say it.
Say it. Both of you.
What?
Say it.
Say it, dude.
Say what you want to say.
I think from the 7, it's a low percentage play. I think your chances of winning are lower than if you kick the extra point.
I would like you would say it to anybody else.
I like that.
I'm on the radio. Say it like you want to say it.
Come on,
I
talk
thought
to
it was
your
a
friend.
reckless decision.
Thank you.
Okay, but you don't regret it.
No.
No.
I see him in his office on the phone. Just got done with the workout. I assume shirtless.
Yes.
Sweating a little bit. Walking around. Say it. Say it like how you say it to your friend.
Yeah.
I've heard what you guys have been saying. I've been getting the clips of this. Say thank you. Okay. All right. Thanks. Clipping that. Putting it in the team meeting room now. Here we go. We got a clip. And the conversation about that game is the reporting. Now, the Dallas Cowboys get a huge win. They don't care about the reporting. But obviously, MCDC is still not thrilled about the loss to the Cowboys. And he's taking it on the shin for the decision-making of 4 straight two-point conversion opportunities. Obviously, there was penalty, and then there was timeout, then there was another one, whatever. He was saying, we're going for it regardless. Can you walk us through the entire situation that happened with Detroit from the head coach's eyes, how Dan Campbell sees it, from the beginning of the game when they're talking to the refs, to the situation happening, to the fallout now afterwards, where you're being mocked and ridiculed by people on the radio that you don't necessarily appreciate?
Yeah, so game day, they're going to send 2 officials, not the white hat. They're going to send a line judge and a deep wing official into each locker room. Go through whatever you need to go through with the official.
Trick plays.
Special teams guy. I remember Midge had the iPad, had the Surface, the Microsoft tablet out. Okay, here's the deal. Here's how we're going to line up. You good with this? We okay with this? So anyway, they go through all that stuff, and I'm sure they explained this scenario, this play, this substitution to those 2 guys. Then I'm assuming, which happened to us in the past, they go out and they talk to the crew, they talk to the white hat. And then the only chance, like Dan or the head coach or I had, is once you go out for pregame warm-ups and the crew comes out, the white hat comes out, he does his pleasantries, he goes to the other one coach.
How's the family?
How's the family? Everything good. How's the
Sure.
He'd always ask about the family.
How's the thing?
Yeah, Commendatore. How's your uncle?
Salvatore.
So anyway, so then you have a chance. Hey, look, the guys talked to me, Dan, about the play, about your 2-point play, the situation, this, that, and the other. So they have a discussion about it. So I'm assuming
potentially talked about 2 times, which is why Dan is so
potentially
pissed.
talked about it 2 times, and so I think both sides are assuming once we get to this, if this situation comes up, that's why you have those, discussions, and they do come up. It's like a play you can't defend all week. God, I hope they don't run that pass route. Guess what? It's coming.
Whoa. Hey. AJ, so you can see why Dan Campbell's probably a little bit emotional about it all. And then you hear Big Frank. Who's the guy that got all pissed off? Who said, I didn't report. I didn't
Skip.
Sorry,
John Skipper.
Big Skip said, I didn't say anything. On the sideline, there's video of him reacting to the entire situation. It's like you could see why MCDC's incredibly upset. What a different convo that is, AJ, if that whole thing goes how it's supposed to go from Jump Street.
Oh, Tirico had like a legendary call saying this is changing the franchise forever. Like I think I even mentioned on the show, like I thought of Foxy instantly how happy this guy was. And then to see it get sucked away from him so quickly, I'm glad. I heard you guys were watching in a really highfalutin basement area of a nice place with some big-time people. So that kind of kept him from possibly offing himself. So I was happy for that. But I wanted to ask Chuck real quick, when you're talking to those refs pregame trying to show them what plays you may have on the fake iPad they bring in, are they actually showing clips from practice of the play, or how are you doing it?
Yeah, you're showing them clips from practice, or if you've run it before in a game, you bring back an old clip, something. Yeah, so you're showing them exactly how we're going to line up, but mostly practice.
Or if somebody else has done it, you show.
Somebody else has done it.
Show
it's
that
like
video.
it's like, I texted a video of the 2016 game us at Tennessee when that happened to us with Taylor Lewan had a tackle eligible play.
What happened?
There was a little bit of deception.
I didn't know this because I thought the reporter.
So one thing, these referees, the white hats, they're not going to allow that. So going back to this situation in Detroit, I mean, 2 times in a game.
What did Taylor Lewan do? We need to hear what Taylor Lewan did.
The phone.
Deception.
Well, it was their first drive of the game, and they're down in the low red area. And it's like a second down. So they bring in one lineman. Taylor's going off the field, running off the field.
Oh, he's sub.
So
all pro.
And then stops. He's coming back on. So there's this conversation, AJ, like you got the green dot on your helmet, going through personnel groups. The coordinator's talking to you. Hey, they're going to 12. No, it's heavy. It's jumbo. It's this. It's that. And then he comes back into the huddle, gets lined up. You're only seeing on the screen right now the final formation and the motion. But by the time we get the call in, we're in a man coverage call. We're running like a jam front, a bear front, playing cover one, red cover one down there. And they're supposed to tell you, like, it's got to be demonstrative, okay? 70's reporting, okay? 77, so we don't know who it is. DeQuell Jackson's our Mike Backer. He's given the call to the defense, got from the defense coordinator. So by the time he turns around, they're at the line of scrimmage. And he thinks a different number is the eligible. Lewan's at their left tackle to our right side, and we're a man-to-man. We don't cover him. Because I think Walt
Taylor Lewan.
I think, and it was beautiful.
Son of a.
And it was fair. I mean, they did everything legal. The thing that
they just eye candy. They just
the eye candy and all the different stuff. And being at the line of scrimmage, we didn't have time, and the ref didn't have time, and our guys didn't have time to hear that it's 77. Because you know how they tell the defense 77, and then over the loudspeaker they announce it. Never heard any of that because the ball snapped and
Taylor Lewan's dancing in the end zone.
That's right.
Hey, way to go, Taylor. Busting with the boys is also sweet.
I love it.
Absolutely love
awesome.
it. He's a legend, hilarious human being. He's like a model now too.
Yeah.
And a phenomenal blackjack player.
Yes, he is.
Because he's not scared to dance a little bit.
No,
you know what I mean?
no.
He'll run. He'll fake run off the field.
That's right.
He'll come back in. He'll do his whole song and dance.
Great stash.
Then he'll score a touchdown against us because I actually brought this up against the great stash. I brought this up against for the whole thing. That's the first time I've ever seen somebody try to game the reporting as much as they were doing. What's that, AJ?
Me too. Sorry, me too. I've never seen. I started thinking, man, why didn't we try to game this system before?
Bingo. This has been there the whole time, just like the Taylor Lewan fake runoff comeback thing. And it has been explained, we assume, to Brad Allen now that Chuck has told us, maybe even 2 times.
Yeah.
But they're souping up the reporting, and Brad Allen's head might have exploded.
So, do you think, though, during that conversation when MCDC and he's trying to tell the officials and then telling Brad that, hey, 70's going to be coming in. Oh, and by the way, Penny Sewell's going to be coming in, and Taylor Decker is going to be coming in 68, and all these bodies around you, right? Do you think they had that conversation?
I
would hope.
That's how we always do it.
Yeah.
Is what MCDC is saying. All right, hour 2 here on ESPN is wrapping up on this glorious Coach Saban Thursday. We'll continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus. We appreciate the hell out of you, those who are still watching. Heard everybody's boycotting. Well, maybe we'll see you tomorrow then. Boom. Right there.
Bang. I can go.
Nailed it.
A lot of people tell me they're boycotting the show, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I know.
Good run.
Everybody that told me they're boycotting it on the internet, I don't think they ever seen an episode.
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't know if they were ever going to watch.
Normally how it goes.
I don't know if they were ever going to watch, but I was bummed out.
Yeah.
I was bummed out.
Rightfully so.
I looked at a couple X accounts and I saw nobody I know follows this person. This person doesn't follow anybody I know. Let me scroll through, I don't know, a few weeks worth of tweets real quick. Not a single sports one.
Okay.
Except for, I'm not watching that Pat McAfee show anymore.
I'm done with these.
You should join me. We should boycott this fucking show. I'm like, if you ever watched our show, you would know how incredibly stupid we are.
Mm-hmm.
You would know that there is a chance that something this terrible can happen, and we apologize for it.
Yeah.
It's addressed.
It's not going to happen again, though.
Never.
No.
We're learning.
Slowly but surely.
Growth. Maturity.
Yep.
Evolve.
But also, it is an interview show,
Yeah.
you know? So
All we can do is ask questions, right?
You don't know the answer.
Well, that's the thing for you two is that you guys are just sacks of shit for not, cutting them off. I mean, what are we doing here?
which part?
Any of it. I don't even care.
Yeah,
any
right.
of it. Yeah.
What are we?
I don't know. I just know that you two fucked us. That's all I know.
I read that. I read that too. We need to start Jeff Dunhaming
Boom.
our guests.
That's what it should happen.
That's not a bad idea.
Something to think about.
You know how we just put that picture up of Saban whenever his connection wasn't that good?
Yeah.
We'll just put pictures up of people and you
Yeah.
be them.
Need you to get in your bag.
Yeah, I need you to be in here quick before next Tuesday.
And Saban.
Probably figured it out.
And once again, can't stress this enough. Can see how Jimmy Kimmel was pissed.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. We ran through some scenarios.
Completely see how Jimmy Kimmel was pissed off.
Especially when, it came out and he wasn't on it.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Jimmy Kimmel completely in the right to be pissed off.
Exonerated.
Yeah, completely.
I didn't
Feels
see that
like-
come out.
That was wild internet last night.
Oh, you didn't see that?
It was wild internet last
Yeah.
night. It was
They had
so
the list
long.
people had to be bummed.
It was so long. So long. So literally it was just like as people were, you're watching the entire internet read. And those who were the speed readers, reporters, were ahead of everybody else. They just kept coming. I don't know if that was everything that a lot of the people that have been calling for this were hoping for it to be, obviously. But I think that's good news.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Absolutely.
I think that means society is a lot better than maybe the doomsday thinkers think it is.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of names that kind of people didn't expect or just didn't even know. I will say my heart goes out. Actually, never mind. I won't say it.
I knew he was going. Where was he going?
Did you know where I was going?
No, you two
I have an
puppets,
idea.
Muppets
I
need
have
to
an
stop.
idea.
I just
Let's get to a break.
I don't think anybody anticipated the internet to take such a
Stephen Hawking?
Yeah, it's such a hard stance on Stephen Hawking last night.
What do you mean?
He's dead, so I mean,
Sorry,
He
what?
was married like 3 or 4 times, wasn't he?
He's a dog.
Turns out, Tony, that's why I said I think we should wait.
Stephen Hawking, not.
That's not my world, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those
He's
things
very
that I
smart.
think we've
Very
learned over
smart
the
dude.
last few days. If we don't know, we should quickly. Okay, about everything all the time.
Clarify that.
January
not having an
2nd,
opinion.
22nd, there still is more.
Of course.
It's not over
but
yet.
This is the goalpost.
It's not over
exactly,
yet.
Exactly. This is gonna be the next 10 years. Then the next one, it'll be 3 more people we've never heard of, and people will be like, "Holy shit!"
I had some sports people, the people that have done sports before in media and radio and TV and everything. grandstanding on how they would handle the situation instead of how
Of course.
I handled the situation.
They would know.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys telling me all that stuff. It's all bullshit. You fucking wouldn't. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And we do feel bad.
Yeah. Very.
I've never met Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel has asked me to be on his program once or twice. Wasn't able to make a trip all the way out to Los Angeles to do it. I do not know him, but I do know that he and Aaron do not like each other.
No, they don't.
No, they do not.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any olive branches extended anytime
I called
soon.
for that yesterday, though.
You
Aaron.
did. You did.
Maybe we're the ones. Maybe, especially now with what happened.
There's always hope, right? There's always hope.
Can you bring them together?
I hope so. Like, hey, you two need to
put our swords
Good
down.
on you, Pat.
Well, that's not being fucking talked about much, Chuck, from what I'm reading.
Jealousy rears its ugly head again.
I don't know if that's the case. A lot of people call me a doofus. I don't know if anybody's jealous of how dumb I am. But I want to let you know, honored to be here, boys.
Honored.
Truly is an honor.
It's an honor.
I'm wild on the internet.
Sacrifice and honor.
Hey, look, when we do our team breakdowns, not everyone's putting their hand in.
But the people who are seemingly are. I've had people going in the trenches for me on the internet.
Exactly.
That's not. I appreciate you people doing that.
Yeah, those are the ones you gotta.
Remember, all well deserved. What's happening to me though? To our people that are out there, piecing words together in response to others who are just murdering me publicly. We signed up for this.
Yeah.
We're built for this.
Amen.
We've been
You wear your big boy pants.
That's right. Big boy pants on.
These are my big boy pants, size 38. Y'all motherfuckers couldn't fit. Your ass is too small.
Boom.
Okay? Let's remember that. We grow stronger from this.
Yep. Always.
We grow better from this.
Yep.
And once again, we put ourselves in this situation.
Well.
Okay? So we got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
We have to stop doing that. You know, every time you point a finger, there's three pointing back. In this one, that is probably the accurate way probably to depict this situation here. Probably three fingers out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably three fingers out on this particular one. And that pinky's certainly real, and we got to own that. Let's enjoy this life. Team on me. I appreciate the hell out of all of you. Team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Team.
See you next hour. Be your friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take 5.
Jalen Milroe often wears his own branded apparel reading LANK across the front. It's an acronym that stands for Let a Naysayer Know. Being told by his former offensive coordinator,
That
Bill
is
O'Brien.
not what I thought.
Is that not what you thought?
Boy, let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Of course.
The professional's right in the middle of his lead. That's all right. I just keep going.
You almost lost me again. It got real tight up here as you were. I just want to let you know.
Reese, you were too smooth with that. I thought it was going down. I thought it was going down out here. I looked over at Liz.
Oh, sorry about it. Let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Naysayer know. That's what we thought the whole time. That's what we all thought.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Undercover. On this show, if you haven't seen it, this is where we give recognition to some of the guys that don't get the recognition like the big names. He's an undercover dog. He's an undercover dog for sure. My first undercover dog, Travis Etienne. He had 16 carries for 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. He only 49 yards from having 1,000 yards this year. My second undercover dog is Khalil Herbert. 18 carries, 124 yards, a touchdown against the Falcons. Back-to-back weeks with 100 yards. He averaged 6.2 yards a carry the last 2 weeks because of plays like this. My third undercover dog is Jalen Reagor. He had a 98-yard return this week against Buffalo. There's only 4 kickoff returns that's been returned this year. He bounced around for the last couple of years, but I think he found the home in New England. These are my undercover dogs. I want to thank everybody who's been tweeting hashtag undercover dogs. We're watching every week to find undercover dogs. It's been a hell of a season. Let's finish strong with undercover dogs. He's an undercover dog. He's an undercover dog for sure.
I had no idea what to expect whenever I came out here to Utah. Drop that.
Yeah,
I can't make it.
Steve Smith Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-12 champion, head coach of the Utah Utes football team. Pulling in on a Harley-Davidson Sportster, I do believe. Coach Kyle Whittingham.
Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wished for. None left over for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to conclusion, no one's touching this. Just finished the maiden voyage, hopping off the Mayflower. Said I'm shot to kill them off, whatever it take. Now sink the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals.
I mean, you got to do it. It is 34 degrees out here in the back-to-back Pac-12 champions. Mighty Utah student section has been here in abundance. They've been loud. In today's a day where they showcase to the world that it's not just Mormons and soaking in Utah. No. It's great football and an incredible fan base. They've been so kind. I appreciate the hell out of you all. Have you ever thought something negative about a kicker before in your entire life?
Yes.
All right, relax, dude. Okay. Boston Connor was drinking with Dwayne Wade last night. $225,000. Let's remember this day forever, Cameron. You know that 29 out of the last 30 home games that happens right here at the University of Utah, the Utah Utes win. Cam Rising said yesterday, we don't lose at home, and today, they ain't losing. This place is going to be soaking in celebration this evening. You guys were absolutely that this is a town you don't jacked.
Lighting's great.
Everybody's got Bryce Young, Will Levis, and Will Anderson above C.J. Stroud, allegedly. We will 1,000,000% continue to drive that narrative. Because with what my eyes seen, AJ, and what you have seen, if C.J. Stroud ends up at the Colts at number 4, I'm happy about the future of the Colts all of a sudden. So this will be the last time we say this. C.J. Stroud is the best quarterback in this draft class.
That's right, for sure.
We are massive fans of them. And whenever we say, whatever we say over the next few months before the draft, we would like it to not be held against us because we know we are a part of the entire system here. And we need C.J. Stroud and Indy.
Have to have him.
Plus, it's really fun to say Stroud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need him to go Dahn to the 4th pick.
Yeah, do you think they have to trade up? Because Texans are right there at 2, and, you know, those are the 2 quarterbacks of the future.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's an opportunity and a chance for us to move, too. We got a lot of pieces to the puzzle that aren't necessarily going to be there in the future, probably. You bundle that with the 4 overall pick, I think you could maybe move up to 1, and then you get C.J. Stroud.
Hey, look it. From Wee-Man! He learned something from Brock. And Wee-Man back in the ring. He's stalking Sammy. Listen to this place. Oh, to the kneecap. so accurate. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Body slamming Sami Zayn. Wayman used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5. If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you, Owen. I'm taking her on
And
the
also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He was making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little.
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Coach Saban Thursday, January 4th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football! Is that a climax right now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There.
It is. We have made it. We have earned our way to this part of the season. That's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. Great shirt.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
What size is that?
It's a large.
There you go, Tony.
Oh, nee.
Whoa. Woo.
Looking good. Don't be woeing back there, medium boy, Evan Fox.
Whoa, I'm a large too. That was the whoa part.
Oh, okay. You were a large. Then you started working out. Then you lost 20 pounds. Now you're a medium. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm eating a lot of protein now because of that.
Oh, swallowing all the protein. Atta baby.
Thank you.
Foxy's an H&M model, for those that don't know. That is literally how he's built. He's been trying to put on weight in muscle and mass and trying to grow a little bit. Turns out he's actually lost 20 pounds. He has not actually put on any muscle, although he has been lifting to bulk. He has shredded.
Yeah.
That's Evan Foxy, baby.
Thank you. Wrong direction, but we're working on it.
Hey, when you're too handsome, your body just says, hey, we ain't meatheads.
You don't need this.
What are you talking about? We wear the mannequin stuff. We're not trying to change that. 36 years of coaching in football, 18 in college, 18 in the NFL. Chuck Pagano is here.
That boy, Chuck.
AJ, I don't know if you heard, but Mike Vrabel, okay, is not the biggest fan of losing.
No.
You know, when you're talking about games and preseason games and games at the end of the year that maybe don't matter, you always hear coaches say, are they keeping score? You know, are they keeping score?
Bingo.
The locker room that I want to have, the team that I want to have, is a team that wants to compete at anything. Okay, you're playing ping pong. Are they keeping score? Yes. You're playing chess. Are they keeping score on who's winning, who's losing? Yeah, you can figure out how to move the rook.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what the type of person you want on your team. So that's always what coaches end up saying. Listen how Vrabel delivered that message to a reporter and said, what are you guys doing? Nothing really on the line this year. You guys kind of suck. What are you playing for? Here's Mike Vrabel talking about the situation of the Titans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend, who could win the AFC South. Now, if the Jags lose to the Titans, which this press conference gave me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
The winner of the Colts-Texans game Saturday night in the Lighthouse, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, is the winner of the AFC South. A lot on the line. Here's how Vrabel, who has no implications other than just his name on the line, addressed the situation.
Expand on
Because it sucks to lose, Gentry.
Okay.
Trey, ever need to show you anything?
Did you have another thought, or no? I'm just curious.
Well,
It fucking sucks. Losing. Awful. That's why I want to win.
Okay, Gentry.
Because you don't sleep. You want to win for the players that bust their tail. That's it.
Other guy starts asking question. Any other fucking gems? Gentry, pal? Now, obviously, Vrabel is a historic, legendary shit talker, is what people who are around him describe him like, hey, that guy will mow you down. And we've seen some press conferences where we've seen Mike Vrabel. You know what I mean? We've seen the Ohio fuck Mike Vrabel. This is the greatest version I've seen. You obviously know Vrabes pretty well. What do you think was going through his head at the time? And what do you think this is a message that he's sending to the Titans locker room as well, AJ?
Man, I mean, I'm sure that those players are very aware of how frustrated Braves is and how bad it sucks to lose. I'm sure that message has gotten across. But man, it's good to see a coach. We saw Dan Campbell with the radio guys be authentic, be real. This is Braves absolutely being real, telling him exactly how he feels, not giving any coach speak, and actually coming back at him when another guy was about to ask a question. Like, that's my favorite part. And see how Braves his head is just shaking for like 20 seconds. Just like, you know how pissed he is. He just wants. Oh man, I would love to have talked to him as soon as he walked off that podium. Can you
Still
imagine
steaming.
How pissed he would be.
Still steaming. And then like an hour later, after the video has been seen a million
All
times. All right, Gentry got me. What do you want? But that guy asking a question, I'll follow up like probably the right play too. Trying to read the room. All right, let's
move along.
And I don't know what Vrabel and Gentry's relationship has been like all season. Certainly feels like there has been quite a little bit of a buildup, maybe a verbal joust back and forth of a time or two. But I do love him. I am not done with Gentry. I don't know what you think this is, but we need to figure and sort this out. Chuck, whenever he's saying that, obviously he is at a point where he's incredibly frustrated. Anytime you lose, awful. Okay, Gentry? Don't know if you know that.
Sleep.
But this is also, I think, messaging to everybody, not just him, the players, the coaching staff, the fans. And has there ever been a time where you potentially thought about saying, you know what, fuck you? And did you ever?
No, I actually never said, fuck you.
Okay.
What? Yeah, exactly.
What's this guy?
Thought about it. I'm sure
Every coach
Vrabel
has.
thought about it.
Yeah.
You got to. But the thing is, I loved what Vrabes did. And absolutely, he's talking to his team. He's talking to the organization. He's talking to ownership. Like, this is a perfect – they're playing a division opponent. They got Jacksonville coming to town. Spoiler, keep them from winning the division. Hell yeah. And we always used to talk, no matter what the game, what it's for, you got the name on the back of your jersey and you got the decal on the side of your helmet. And I don't give a fuck. We got 16, 17 games now that we sign up for. We're playing our asses off in every one of those situations regardless. So I love that point. But when you respond to these guys and they get you going, you're giving them what they want. Okay. And when you don't, it's like letting them sit there with hot coals in their lap. That's what I've learned. So bite your tongue as long as you can, and then comes a certain point like Vrabes, because this ain't going to me, I loved it because Gentry was like one of his players in a team meeting. You got something fucking else to say, Gentry?
Oh, you got it all figured out, huh, Gentry?
Because Gentry, yeah, right. Gentry, it's on the clap and not what you think's a clap, Gentry.
Yeah, and shout out to Gentry, by the way, shout out to Gentry, by the way, for getting to a place with Vrabes where Vrabes feels comfortable enough to say it to Gentry. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? Like, I assume there's numerous reporters in there that Vrabel would not say that to. Gentry, for whatever reason, whether he is a pest and a menace in there,
sure,
and that's what he's looking for, or if Vrabel and he know each other pretty good. There's either one way.
I think it shows respect. I think it shows that Vrabes has respect for the guy. Not only did he reference him by his first name and everything. Like, I don't think Vrabes does that. Or was his first name
Gentry's?
I don't know.
So how do you know it's not a she?
I think
He wouldn't do
whoever
that
it
to
is
a sheep.
I think I heard.
He
I
was
think I heard.
asking,
I think
yeah.
I heard the voice.
Okay.
But I do not know Gentry. We should have done a little bit more research into Gentry, but I think we just wanted to be so pro Vrabes in the entire conversation. But the more that we think about it and talk about it, it's like he's not doing that to just any. Like, Gentry's got to be somebody.
Yeah.
You know, Gentry's got to be somebody down there. Shout out to Gentry.
Yeah, shout out.
Gentry Estes, sports columnist. Estes?
Estes.
Yeah.
Estes.
Estes?
Estes.
Sports columnist for the Tennessean, formerly Courier Journal, 24/7 Sports, Alabama.com, Times Free Press, and others. This motherfucker has been working.
And he's tired.
Tired of being clever. Okay? Everybody's clever these days. So I'm gonna be a menace.
I love it.
I like it.
He knows what he's saying.
Actually, he tweeted that Vrabel got riled up today. It was actually one of the more genuinely insightful moments of the Titans season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gentry's doing it. Hey, Gentry, way to do it, Gentry.
Yeah.
Gentry. Sounds like Gentry gets his cheese.
You say
You don't have to
Gentry's
say-
a rat?
I'm
There's no
not
reason
saying
to
he's
say
a
that.
rat. There's a lot of animals that like cheese. What do we-
Not as much as
Not as much as the one that you were implying.
Yeah.
What, rats?
Yeah, well, you were, I think because we're talking to Marchand in the first hour, and he's a pest menace, they call him Rat.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Gentry's angle. I think just in this particular case, he owed Jim Wyatt, sports head coach Mike Vrabel with a smile, starts pressure with an apology to Gentry for his colorful language on Tuesday.
Oh, come on.
I'm sure it was like, hey, sorry,
It's
Gentry.
not my Vrabel.
Man.
Hey, Estes. You won yesterday.
Sack of wine.
Sack of subs, Gentry.
Sack of fucking subs.
You got me.
Sack of subs.
You happy about it? I smoked 3 extra vapes last night because of you, Gentry.
Yep.
My heart's about to explode because of you, Gentry. Hope you're happy. Hope the Tennessean got exactly what they wanted. I apologize. I apologize.
They certainly did.
Certainly. We got what we wanted.
Yeah, big time.
Can you run that one more time here?
Yes.
Can we run
Yes,
that?
yes,
Can we
yes.
run that one more time?
Watch the head shake. I love the head shake.
Just as the questions coming in. All right. Back in the day, this would have been grounds for fighting, but obviously can't do that right now.
Can't jump over this podium.
Oh, did you see?
Oh my
Goodness.
God.
Oh,
How is
45
that
inch
allowed to
vertical.
happen?
How is that the first time I've seen that happen? If that's been a potential outcome in court for this long, I don't know if you saw that in
yeah.
Nevada.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's common. Look how high
Not
that
common.
is.
No.
Not common at all. But like I'm saying, how has this not happened?
That's how Brian Dawkins used to tackle.
I mean,
Started hitting them and stuff.
I mean, that's not good news
alone.
for that judge, by the way.
No, not at all.
Judge sat in the pocket. You know, she tried to evade
Yeah.
there. Didn't have a lot of outs. I think she was kind of trapped by a couple things.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a gavel. Like, grab the gavel. Bash that
What, when
guy.
he's flying through the air?
I mean, look, crazy circumstance.
Now, granted, if she does take gavel and
Yeah.
him
What is she,
out.
Thor?
oh my,
Yeah.
and also an extra 20 years.
Yeah.
Boom, gavel, jaw,
Where's the
Yes.
Where's
and
the
then
security?
gavel, 20 more years.
Yeah,
Where's the
Bailiff's got
security?
Just
to
like-
get over there.
I agree. And if this was Judge Judy
Yeah.
or Judge Joe Brown
Yeah.
Right.
or Judge
Steve
Judge
Wilkos was there.
Mathis.
And then what Steve Wilkos did? Wasn't he a guard or something in a courtroom? Steve Wilkos would have T-boned that dude and tackled him in the air.
He was a cop, I think, but he was certainly guard of Jerry Springer's stage whenever those white trash hillbillies wanted to get into it. And then his name would get certainly chanted through the streets of Chicago because of how great he was. I think Judge Steve Harvey has a
Yep.
bailiff or whatever. Steve Harvey had a rough day yesterday.
Yes, he did.
What happened?
Yeah.
Cat Williams went on Club Shay Shay.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't, Steve wasn't alone. I mean,
No,
it
he
was-
wasn't. Cedric the Entertainer guy.
Kevin Hart.
As well.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I grew up on Cat Williams.
Chris Tucker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just sweating all over the
That
place.
was our college days. Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah, I mean, it is every day.
Damn hustle.
Yeah, I mean, he.
Great.
Haven't seen him for a while, but he won. Whoa, this is we're getting throttled right now.
No.
All these
I'm here.
judges.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we're
Yeah,
talking
there it
about
is.
judges.
You're back.
You're getting throttled.
Nothing. Whoa. Nothing changed on my end. It said it went blank or whatever.
Anyways, yeah, same here. Yeah, same exact thing. To be clear, we do not think that more people should jump over
Smart.
the judge's thing at the judge.
No.
But with that being said, that dude missed out on probably a good football career.
Yeah.
Long jump. Olympics.
Certainly long jump, but he looked like Paul Mullen.
Bingo.
Yeah.
You go back to Penn State, LeVar Arrington used to
Yep.
do that, okay, and block kicks and sack people and everything like that. That is a leap.
Yeah.
I thought that was the blueprint to stop the tush push.
Bingo.
It is kind of.
There it is.
You can time it up.
And like, I don't know how that hasn't happened in the past. We're happy. I believe I read that the judge is okay.
Yes.
Which is good. But damn, that took over here and there real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, that's got to be like how is that like an extra 10 years? It's got to be a crazy amount of extra.
Attacking a federal official.
That'll tack on a couple.
Yeah, assault, I believe.
Yeah, he was denied parole.
Yeah, that's the exact moment.
Yeah. So I'm assuming he thought he was getting out that day.
So pumped.
Yeah.
So pumped walking in there. I've done everything I needed to do.
Talk some shit in the jail before.
See you never. All right, so a couple guys.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun for life.
On the way out. And then he comes back in and they go, what happened? He goes, I got 20 more years.
Yeah. You'll hear about it. You'll probably see it somehow.
What did you, how'd that happen? I've never heard that happen in a pro. You normally just
You're about to
dove over the.
Yeah, so, have you been in there?
Flying super punch.
Of course you have. You're here.
When you're up for parole, you'll see. So it is gettable. I've learned that. I just didn't like it. I snapped. So I'm going to be with you guys for the long haul.
Yep.
What was he in jail for?
I don't know.
He did it before.
He attacked another judge?
Yeah.
He just walked into a courtroom?
Yeah, that's how he got
He's
there.
the first person ever to, his only charge was attacking a judge by jumping over the podium.
Are they going to put spikes there facing out now?
Bench. Oh, like you think on the top they're going to have like little
Spikes facing, like diagonally facing out. So if they jump on, you just impale yourself like a deer.
Like Braveheart.
Think about it, there was a little bit of a crowd. There was a little bit of a crowd watching.
A couple scouts.
I've been to court, done court before. So they fill that room, and it's normally people who also have trial that day or lawyers for people that have trial that day, depending upon where they come. He's got a good shirt on, too. I mean,
that Biggie sweatshirt?
He's ready to get out, isn't he?
Yeah, he's already thought about the food he's going to eat as soon as he leaves.
But that's where he was standing. So he had to swim his...
Yeah, his attorney.
So there's the bailiff.
Not paying any attention.
And that's a stenographer there?
Yeah, it must be.
On the side?
He got
and
involved.
This is Judge Mary Kay Johnson?
Yep.
We need the other angle from when he takes off, too.
You don't have it.
Oh, she said, whoa, he's getting real close. Do you think he jumped the stenographer actually getting in there?
Oh, yeah.
Someone started punching him. Yeah, buddy started punching him at the end.
Yeah, stenographer's a dog.
Yeah.
He got choked. He's jiu-jitsu.
That Luke Littler?
That's what I was wondering.
Look at the lawyer. The lawyer's like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
I would like to say I no longer.
You're not my client.
Oh, he's throwing. He's
Littler.
I've not seen this.
Headshots.
Is he punching the judge there still?
Hammer fist.
No,
I don't think so. I think
she's on the
laying
ground.
down.
Yeah,
I
crawled
think they're
away.
just giving him hell right now.
How about those other guys jump back
He's like
there?
the
Is that his lawyer?
Chappelle.
Look,
Yeah. So
that guy.
all you need is Chris Rock to come out and say, "Was that Will Smith?" Chappelle's recent stand-up special. He said that Chris Rock tried to steal his assault, pretty much with a one-liner that stole the entire show. Whenever
Those shots the clerk was given probably hurt. Right?
A couple hammer punches. You need to get into virtual reality. Hey, I've been back in there. This new one, AJ, awesome. Yeah. This new
boxing. It's a new boxing game.
Same boxing game, new Oculus.
Game changer.
Ooh.
New Oculus. So better quality, better everything, and that is such a good workout. They need to just, and I think I saw a couple commercials of fitness in the Oculus happening during the NFL.
Yep.
And these Oculi are incredibly expensive. They are absurdly expensive. It is not reality that everybody could get one of these, but it is like a very good fitness routine. Now, I don't want to be a C word, especially on this particular week, but a lot of things going on in there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of things going on in there.
Be careful.
It's getting too good almost. You know, and I saw Ready Player One. I didn't make that movie.
Oh, man.
I didn't make that movie.
They're getting close.
But you start seeing that thing, and I'm walking around. They got me in. I'm just walking around the Thunderdome in this thing, playing ping pong against somebody from Germany. I'm boxing somebody from an AI world that got some soft ass jaws.
Ooh.
I've been knocking them. I've been knocking them out here in the Thunderdome, just laying bodies out here.
Yeah. He doesn't get it either. I don't think AJ's processing what you're saying when you say in the Thunderdome.
Yeah, so like, I put this thing on.
It maps everything for you already.
I'm just in here.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm in here, and then all of a sudden, fake human pops up.
In the dome.
In the Thunderdome. And then ping pong table pops up, and I'm playing ping pong against somebody from Germany right here while talking to Connor, who is in the room right next to me. It looks exactly like that. That's exactly how it looks in the thing. And then
So you could look at Con Man and talk to him while you're playing tennis, ping pong against I got it.
Full one. So the last Oculi, I don't know if it's the last one or how many there are. I think it's the third one. There was people that would be running into walls and like would be doing all these things. Now you could just see like kind of the room.
Wow, that's dangerous. Now you're going to want to live in that world and not the real world.
Which leads me to the Ready Player One thing. Yeah, it is getting very, very, very good in there.
Yeah, like what people are
people are buying.
People are doing a lot of
Bruce's
weird
bopping.
stuff.
No,
Yeah.
not bopping. They got robot bopping.
Yeah,
they're
that's
buying
what I'm saying. Like,
they're buying
is that
a
a real
super
thing?
sucker. Yeah.
The next iteration of it. I know Bill was jacked up about that, but what people are doing
new Bill, new
people, of course. What people are doing with the Oculus is like they'll wear it, and while they're cooking or doing anything, they can just have like a TV on, basically, right next to it because they have that Oculus on. So the fact that you can see stuff is ridiculous while you're in there.
Yeah, and that boxing game's only gotten better, AJ.
I walked off a plank
that makes
from
me
like
want to get
40
it.
stories. It was wild.
What?
Yeah, those are the videos that hit the internet. Is when they put an old in these Oculus, and then they got to walk on like a board.
I've been walking the plank a lot. It's quite a feeling.
And they're really.
Yeah.
Have you actually been doing it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Is that a game? Is it a game?
Yeah,
or
it's
what
called
is
walk
it?
the plank, I think.
And it's awesome. You're saying?
Yeah. So you walk to the end of the plank, you look around. It's pretty weird because you actually feel like it, and then at one point the plank gives out and you free fall, and you could feel that you're standing on the ground, but you could also feel yourself falling.
So that is not the mixed reality one.
No.
So there's like mixed reality.
That one's
options,
fully immersed.
and then there's fully immersed, and then the headset much more comfortable now. Like much more comfortable.
Big deal.
The old one wasn't as comfortable. It's like it's certainly a lot to put on and everything, but once you get in there, it's like.
Just had a thought. You could finally have your rematch with Bjorn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been thinking. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so could I play ping pong against you now on that one?
Always have been able to.
Yeah.
But you could do it in your house.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, now you can actually be like where the location.
You don't have to be fully immersed.
Yeah, you're not in like the Alps. Like you remember that other one where you were playing and they had mountains.
Remember we played. You weren't bad.
I would go outside of like the box or whatever that
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
play in. That would always
Bingo.
happen to me.
I got my ass beat by a dude, I think from Spain the other day in here.
In ping pong.
Rafa was it Rafa?
Beat. To be honest, the fucker's serve was phenomenal because it's very real. It's very like you put spin on it. You can heat. You can do everything. You can literally do everything with this. It feels like actual ping pong. Once you get past the fact that it's not actual ping pong, you can realize that it is real ping pong. You actually feel it. There's a little pop in your hand whenever you hit the ball. You can put spin on it. You can do everything. You have to serve it properly with like 6-inch free fall and everything. It's actual. This dude had this backside.
Is this pickleball or what is it? They have
pickleball.
pickleball?
Ping pong.
Oh.
They do have pickleball though.
I assume pickleball would be big on there.
Yeah, pickleball is at the bottom. They were promoting it as soon as I opened the thing. I've not signed up for it though. I've only done the ping pong. This fucker was side spinning this thing.
Pretty good.
I couldn't. It was 6-0 before I even had a chance to figure out the fucking spin. So that was an eye-opening experience. So I had to go right back. Go ahead.
Think about all of that is probably you're probably gonna all of that technology will be like contacts in a couple years. You put it in, you have that whole experience.
Not doing that.
No way. Yeah, here's me playing ping pong the other day. And then we have the video. There's me in there talking shit, obviously. Yep. Thank you. And there's me playing, and then there's what it looks like.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so that's so different than before.
Yeah.
So different.
Yeah, like it's just right there. And it's real ping pong. Like that was real human I'm playing against right there. Yeah.
So did you buy any fake land in the metaverse because of this?
Well, people were selling a bunch of fake land.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Don't
Millions of dollars worth of real estate in the fake world of the metaverse.
Someone spent $500,000 to live next to Snoop Dogg.
And you don't even live in there, by the way.
No, you don't.
It was kind of, I guess you could play like a Sims game where you live in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're actually doing it. Chuck, we need you in the Oculus. We need you in there.
Yeah.
You would love it.
I got to give it a shot.
How are you at ping pong?
Ping pong?
Yeah.
Good.
I guess there's a putting game too.
Yeah, I
that's
can
like
compete.
there's a putting game that's like really.
Do they have pool yet?
Like official.
I'd assume.
Like when you
there's
go
pool
to
in there.
different games,
Has
does
to
it
be.
charge each time? Does it cost?
You just got to buy the game.
Yeah.
One
$10
time and then you're.
Yeah, I think it was $11.99.
They got driving. They got.
Hey,
you
we're actually
can't do that.
Hey, we're gonna go put you in. Do you want to fight or play ping pong?
Oh, fight somebody.
Yeah, I'd like to
Fight somebody.
jack somebody up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, we'll go
fucking
set it up.
right.
All
I
right.
would.
Hey, will you just go right over there? They're gonna strap you up to this thing.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Now, right now.
Yes.
Get in there. Get in the ring.
Come on, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck. Need you here, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck.
I don't know. Hey, Z, you're gonna have to set up the casting so that we can watch what he's watching. which is an easy setup. They actually got it in like 4K casting that you see exactly what I'm seeing. Good luck in there, Chuck.
Come on now, Chuck.
He's in good shape. He's in good shape.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, and it depends on who we have you fight. Probably have you fight Oh.
That baby rock on.
Chuck can move, man. I bet Chuck is a good dancer. We know that. I've seen him gritty, but Chuck can move. He's got great feet.
Yeah, he's old Italian too, so the amount of boxing that he's, you know what I mean? I mean, that is
the
just
Pagano punch.
That's kind of within it is.
What are we talking about?
We forgot about that. Peanut had the peanut punch, and then Pagano had to explain it
he
because
learned
he's
it?
the best puncher that was in the NFL operations at the time. And as we set this up, like, it is absurd how real it is in there. So shout out to whoever built that. I assume it's Zuck, but I assume a lot of others were involved.
Big brains.
He's rolling too much. I don't know if it was Zuck this time.
Yeah, he's out there with John Jones out in Lake Tahoe.
And he's got a
Johnny.
18-story below the dirt sanctuary for when shit hits the fan. So
out there in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's not for when shit hits the fan. It's because shit hits the fan. He's building robots down there, Tony, to take over the continental United States.
Who said that?
Which, real quick, once again,
that
was probably a joke from
No, per Alex Jones, that is what he's doing.
Okay. See,
Well, how did he sound like when he said it?
Here we go.
Basically
Here
said,
we go.
Mark Zuckerberg has created 20 to 25 foot sentinel robots, sentient beings. They have massive weaponry. He's building killing machines for the end of the world. It's all been proven. Satellite imagery has picked it up. Again, you can see all of this on InfoWars or Prison Planet TV. It's all out there. It's all confirmed. We need to keep an eye on Zuckerberg. Something is coming.
now we would like to say that Ty was being a character who is also being a character while saying what he just said. We do not believe what was just said by Ty in that pretty perfect impression right there.
Yeah, I don't know about we, but
you're allowed to believe whatever you want.
Bingo. That's my truth. There's a chance. I mean, we can't just say with 100% certainty.
I saw a video out at Area 51.
Yeah. Oh,
really?
Nice.
Of somebody going, well, they're trying to get in. This is a classic, like Area 51.
Come in.
A thing starts blaring whenever they got too close.
Naturo?
And then this fighter jet comes flying around.
Oh, yeah.
That's like 100 feet off the ground. Just like
that's awesome.
Just like a display. It's like, holy shit.
They got that thing ready to roll at any time someone gets close.
Yeah, I think they have a sensor on Alex Jones too, pretty much everywhere he goes now because of the $2 billion lawsuit, which was certainly thrown in Aaron Rodgers' face the last couple of days.
A little bit.
Dalvin Cook and the Jets have agreed to mutually part ways. Now, when Dalvin Cook left the Minnesota Vikings, we thought it was going to be very difficult to fulfill the role that Dalvin Cook had for the Minnesota Vikings. Not only what he did on the field, but also the fear that he would put into the defense that they were playing every single week. A real guy, all-pro, superstar, man who is very well respected by damn near every human in the NFL. Whenever he became a free agent and was loose, we didn't understand where he was going to go. Some people thought Miami he was going to end up. I was trying to push him to come to the Colts because we had the Jonathan Taylor situation. Inevitably, after going to training camp and get his name chanted by all of Jets fans, he ended up signing with the Jets. Now, the conversation was, is it Breece Hall's team? Is it Dalvin Cook's team? Is Dalvin Cook backing up Breece Hall, who we saw early in the season last year until week 11, I think, be very dominant, then suffer an injury? He was coming back off of that. What was it going to be? It ended up not working.
No.
Breece Hall is Breece Hall. I think we all realize that. And Joe Douglas will say that the Dalvin Cook thing was supposed to be a security blanket, but it just never really worked out. What do we think is next for him, AJ? And why do you think it wasn't, right at New York? Or is it just the fact that nothing was right at New York this year after the fourth play of the season?
Yeah, I think you nailed it right there. After A-Rod goes down, I think everything was just kind of in shambles for a while, trying to figure things out. It doesn't work out. I mean, Breece Hall's legit. That dude can absolutely play. But as you were talking, though, I'm just trying to think who needs him, who's going to sign him. Like, who do you think goes after and tries to take a shot to get him as Chuck gets all strapped up in the Oculus? I hope Tina's watching, actually, because she's going to be impressed.
Well, I got Bill in my Oculus right now. We got 7 Oculi in this place, and we got Bill strapped into mine right now. Bill, the boundary should already be created, right? It's out here?
No.
Yeah, please show me the screen here, and we'll walk them through
Come on, Bill.
Room scale boundary, continue. Choose your own boundary, obviously. Choose your own boundary. Choose your own boundary.
Boundary there, Bill.
All right, now you got to draw it. Okay, put both. Nope. Bill, go back. Thank you. Okay, put your both controllers down on the ground. Tap the ground. Yeah, but it's not right all the time, especially when it's fighting. You're going to be fighting a 6'7" guy.
Yeah,
okay?
big son of a bitch.
All right, that's good. Now let's confirm. Yep. Boom.
Make it huge for the
bang. Bang. I don't know if that's big enough, but good.
I mean, got all this room and
confirm. Reduce the need to. Yep. Perfect.
Passive aggressive.
Here we go. Here we go. Now you got to step on that scale right there. Yep. Boom. We're in. All right, Chuck. This is a brand new game. We're actually going to do me doing this campaign, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
So.
You took it off, so
okay. Put it on Chuck's head. Yeah, put it on Chuck's head.
It's already almost out of the bounds.
We should actually get him all the way in there. Get him all the way in there.
Chuck, you're still here with us. You have not gone anywhere.
Chuck, hey, put the straps on his wrist, please, so he doesn't throw those things.
Don't want him to get confused.
Yep. Tighten it. Yep. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Chuck, what year were you born?
Look at those mitts.
What year? I'm sorry. 1960, this guy's in virtual reality for the first time.
You're 83?
All right, Chuck.
Jesus.
Chuck, walk forward and punch that fight button right there. Just punch it with your left. Give it a nice jab, the fight button. All right, that's...
The other...
There it is.
Yeah, you got to hit it, though. You got to hit it. You're too short.
Pop that thing.
Boom. Okay, now hit that right triangle there.
Yep.
Go another one. Melky's tough. Yeah. Ugly Joe's real tough.
Ugly Joe.
Go ahead and hit. Let's go fight up. All right. Go back.
Not the Reverend. Not the Reverend.
Let's get you versus Ugly Joe. Now hit that start match down there. Joe Nasato versus Chuck. We're going to punch that now. Hold it on. Hold it in there. There we go. Okay, now they're going to ask you to back up into your corner. Back up. Keep backing up.
It was Lane?
Nope, yep. All right, okay, now forward. Now, you're going to have to hold your right fist on continue there to put your mouthpiece in, and then the fight's going to start.
Come on, Chuck.
Hold the continue there.
Yep. Boom.
Boom. We're in the fight.
Let's go, Chuck.
Let's go. Chuck Pagano versus Joe Nasato.
Body.
He's throwing a lot of... He just walked right through another man. His distance is obviously something that Joe Nasato is going to question.
Head body.
Head body. Hit him in the body, Chuck. Boom. Boom.
Oh.
Chuck, throw a jab, Chuck. Get away from him a little bit.
Is this guy older than Chuck?
Head body.
Body. Head.
Body.
Get a right hook in there, Chuck. Get a right hook.
Hit the ref, Chuck.
No.
Oh, that's a good jab right there.
Yep, good shot.
Boom. Boom. You got him startled. Hit him. Let's go, jaw.
Throw bombs, Chuck.
Right hook, Chuck. Oh, he's fighting you back.
Body. Get the body.
Come on.
Joe Nasato and Chuck Pagano.
Ugly.
Our instant classic here in the Thunderdome. Oh, he's got you in the mouth.
Big shot.
We need you to
Body.
throw one hook around that guard, Chuck.
Throw a windmill.
Have you never watched a Dickie Eklund fight? Head body, head body.
Chuck, you win.
There
we go.
Go.
Beat his ass.
Go.
Chuck.
Beat his ass. Joe Nasato done one.
Go.
Come on, Chuck. Come on.
Come on, Chuck. Put him away, Chuck. 40 seconds left in the fight, in the round.
Jab.
Chuck, Joe Nasato needs to be knocked down at least one time in his first round.
His left eye's closing up, Chuck. You can't see your right hook.
Body's wide open.
Bailey's right there. He's got your back. 33 seconds left in the round.
It's fine ball.
Oh, no. Yeah, it is fine ball. You can actually punch the ref right now if you want to. You don't like the way he's looking at you.
Please.
Hook.
Attack, Chuck.
You can punch it. Yeah, right in the mouth. Good work there. Let him know. We're fighting everybody in here.
Body.
I mean, he's parrying all your punches.
He's covering up, Chuck.
Chuck's got to be tired, man.
He's giving you the body, Chuck.
Chuck, you gassed out there? You need some of that Russian gas?
Come on, Chucky. Chucky, you're throwing soft hands.
3 seconds. All right, not a bad first round.
That's just one.
Not a bad first round.
That's just one. Don't hit continue yet.
Yeah, yep. Hey, take your time. You got time. Don't need to hit to continue yet. There should be a clock somewhere in the Thunderdome telling you how long you have left. Yeah, we see you.
Is there a clock around here,
You look
Chuck?
good.
You look great. Chuck, look to your left maybe. Up into your left. Right there. What's that
There's
clock
the
say?
clock.
41 seconds? That's how much time you have.
We're not quitting.
See the clock?
Answer the bell, Chuck. Chuck, what do you think you did wrong there?
Chuck?
He might die. Don't worry, they got one of those in the Oculus.
You want me to come fight this guy, Chuck? You want me to come fight this guy? No, let's see the second round, Chuck.
I mean, we need one punch that's landing harder than blue, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Joe certainly has too. You can continue now. Here we go. Hold your hand up to that. Yep.
Put the mouthpiece back
hold
in.
it.
Put the mouthpiece in.
Boom, we're back in the fight.
Come on, Chuck.
Chuck and Chuck Pagano versus Ugly Joe. Round 2 in this 3-round brawl at the Thunderdome.
Oh, there it is.
Joe Nasato had a tough first round against Chuck and Chuck.
Work on that left eye.
Keep beating it down. He can't see it. Right hook at some point, though.
You can hook around the gloves, Chuck. Right there, hook it.
Oh, there we go. Chuck Pagano's been working.
There it is.
If you see in the lower right corner, that's Chuck Pagano dancing in a Thunderdome.
Ooh, got him. Good combo. Good combo.
Oh, he's swinging back. Chuck hasn't protected himself one time this fight.
Nope.
No, why would he?
Joe Nasato throws heavy bombs. Chuck Pagano says, let me eat him. Oh, there's another jab to the mouth.
Ugly Joe's
Joe Nasato's got his straight. His right straight.
Yeah, Joe Nasato's a tough guy. You got to just button him a couple times, which would be a right hook or a left hook for Chuck. Chuck, don't be scared to dance a little bit, too. You need a breather. You don't have to punch for 2 straight minutes.
You gotta bring that jab out wider, Chuck.
Oh, no. Joe hit you with a left hook.
There it is.
Good answer from Chuck Pagano.
End him, Chuck. Wider with the hook,
Chuck, put
wider.
Joe Nasato down.
There it is.
Boom.
I'm worried about Chuck.
A little dirty boxing out of Joe.
Keep going. He's on the rope.
Right.
No knockdowns first 2 rounds. That's tough. Oh, that was good right there, Chuck.
Come wider with it.
Chuck Pagano, former NFL head coach, in an absolute brawl with Joe Nasato. Absolute battle.
Hooks.
Get to that clock so we know how much time you have left.
Breathe,
Work
Chuck.
left, Chuck.
Breathe, Chuck.
19 seconds.
It's so tiring.
Let's go, Chuck. You win this fight against Joe Nasato. We'll give 20 people $500.
Come on, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck.
Oh, no.
Push.
Oh, no.
Throw.
He's about to knock your ass out.
2, 1. That's a good round.
Let's go around. You got a minute? Chuck?
Good round.
Oh my
listen,
God.
adjust. We need second round adjustments.
Get him a water.
Chuck Pagano.
Can we get Chuck a water?
Zito's bringing in a chair right now, Chuck, for you to sit down on. Zito, you need to hold that chair. Zito, you're going to have to hold that chair. Oh, no. If he slips and falls on that chair, it'll not be good.
Hey, Bill.
Lower it, Bill. Lower it, Bill.
You got to sit in it to lower it, Chuck. You got to sit. Oh,
There
no.
you
This
go.
might be more energy.
Oh no.
Here you go. Get some water.
There's water on
There
the
you go.
guy in
There
the
you go.
corner.
Work on him. Work on him.
Yeah, don't be spinning the thunder up. You're going to be stepping on that soon. You don't need
Zeke,
to slip.
make sure you rub the Vaseline on his eyes. Get some Vaseline on that cut.
Yep. Some biofreeze on the chest. Wake him
All
up.
right. Hey, you got 1 corner for the rest of your life, or 1 round for the rest of your life, Chuck
go.
Pagano. If Chuck
Get in your
Pagano
corner, guy.
can win this fight against Ugly Joe Nasato, we will give 20. You got to go back to that mouthpiece.
Step
thing.
back. Step
You've done
back.
this a couple times. Hand up.
Oh boy.
All right, we answer.
Come on, Chuck.
Oh, okay.
We're in the third and
There
final
it is.
round of this light Italian heavyweight matchup.
Oh,
Chuck
there you
Pagano
go.
protecting
Protect him a
himself for
little
the
bit.
first time.
Oh, you setting them up?
Is this for the Italian Hall of Fame?
I think so. In Geneva, Wisconsin.
Winner goes.
Joe Nasato's in 14 Hall of Fames already. Will it be another one? Or will Chuck Pagano be able to knock at Ugly Joe? Ugly Joe certainly representing his namesake today. Ain't that right, Todd?
Absolutely. Chuck, you may be behind on the scorecards here,
What?
though, so I don't know how, tentative you want to box here in round 3.
I do want to let you know, whenever his whole body turned gray last round, he was very close to knocking you out. That means you're going down.
Oh.
Yeah, you've been rocked.
Remember,
That's what it's like in real life. You wouldn't know that, AJ.
you're seeing real blurry. Yeah, AJ's never been knocked out before. AJ, what would you be doing different here if you were Chuck?
I would have probably quit a while ago. I know how tiring that has to be. A third round? Are you serious? How many punches does Chuck throw?
We'll be able to see after the fight. To be clear, I've never made it this far in a fight on this game.
Jeez.
So this is
If I'm
uncharted territory. I have no idea how it works at the end of a fight if it goes to the judges. Yes.
I think it does.
Hit him in the head.
He's leaving the kidneys open, Chuck.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
Look at Chuck working. Got a left hook in there. Come on, Chuck.
Oh.
Knock Joe Nasato out.
Liver shot. Liver
Come on,
shot.
we're less than a minute away.
Chuck, he's leaving that left
Keep
hook open.
moving. Keep moving.
Chuck, throw a right hook one time.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Joe Saw's throwing some fucking bombs. He
Yeah.
does not want this to go to decision.
This is when Ugly Joe really thrives. We know that, but what about Chuck and Chuck?
Come on, Chuck.
Give him a little kiss.
I've been watching too much of the VR. It's actually better. You just watch Chuck.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll take a glimpse down that lower right corner and see what's really happening and what we're really watching and what the future is. Let's get back to that clock so we know how much time you got left. Take a breather maybe here in a few seconds.
3,
2, 1. And let's go. Oh!
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, you got a nice right straight to the face there
Here we
at the
go.
end. All right, here we go.
Looking fine bomb.
I don't know if you won or not. We would need sound. Just look and see if he lifts his arm up or not.
Look at fine
20
bomb.
people, $500.
Look left, Chuck.
Did you win? Okay, is that you?
Look left.
Yeah, you won.
Way to go, Chucky P!
Going to Hall of Fame.
20 people, $500 because Chuck just beat the shit out of Joe Sauter. Now,
Thank you, Chuck.
that's the first time a fight has ever gone to decision there on that particular Oculus, but
Hit that AI guy in the corner.
a win
with the
is a
camera.
win. A win is a win. Way to go, Chuck.
Oh,
Good job, Chuck.
All right, that's Bill's. That was Bill's grundle there that we were seeing. Bill, thanks for setting it up, pal. That was fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, a real champion. Heroes, welcome back to the stage. 20 people, $500. Chuck Pagano, 1-0.
Yeah. Undefeated.
Work out there, champ.
Good work. Good work, champ.
He couldn't hear us.
No.
You have to be so tired.
Holy shit.
Handsome Chuck does it.
Hey, Bill, check the
I
stats.
got a
on
heater
that.
going.
Yeah, I can imagine. Check the stats on that lower left corner once you get out into the lobby. See, we're already off. All right. See how many punches he threw.
Yeah.
1,012.
85.
I would assume he's up in a couple hundred, probably 300, 400 punches, which is a full workout. Yeah, you just did a full cardio workout. To be clear, that was the easy level second fighter. I thought you were going to knock him out. Ugly Joe came to fucking play today.
did.
Didn't he? What did he do that kind of caught you off guard out there, Chuck, you think?
Well, he's got a good jaw. I know I've made some contact with that jaw. I'm having a hard time talking right now, let alone sitting straight up.
How'd you
down. That was hard. I think you need a little time on task with that game to figure it out. I'm a little bummed out. I'm a little bummed out. I didn't fucking knock that Joe out.
Don't be bummed out.
He'll be bummed out. Darius couldn't knock anybody out. Evan Fox couldn't knock anybody out.
Nope.
I don't think AJ knocked anybody out in that game. You know, it's normal to play like that. That was the first time in there.
So the right cross, I was hearing a lot of right crosses.
Hook.
You got to come around.
Hook. You got to go
When
around.
he's like this, he's exposed with the hook, so you got to come around town with that son of a bitch.
And in that game, you didn't get a chance to experience. You said time on task. I think you're right because out in the lobby, you can go practice, and they'll have like a human dummy, and it like gives you the points to hit. Like it actually tells you, like, hey, this
Based
is
on where his hands are.
No, just like
Just
where,
on the
Okay.
like where not.
Where you're going to deal some damage.
Did you hear head body, or? Mm-hmm. Okay.
just locked in. You stuck to the game plan. I mean,
It
nothing
became
else.
survival there after a minute.
Yeah, that's boxing.
Yeah, and
That's
Ugly
right.
Joe, Ugly Joe survives.
Normally, he's a cockroach.
Yeah, can't kill him.
This is always about the next day, the next 12 hours.
Yeah,
how I'm going to be feeling.
These ones from all the. You were doing this a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Look
It
at
had
you.
to look awful, right?
No, you look good.
Look at that.
You look good.
Bottom right, yeah, you actually do.
Bingo.
But yeah, you see his hands up like that. Let's go around.
Oh, that
those.
was soft.
Yeah,
Let's
you're not
go
coming
around,
around.
though.
That's a good
was
uppercut.
strong.
Good uppercut.
Uppercut's impossible to land on this game. At least I have struggled to.
When he
land it.
turned in the second round, when he was going great.
That was you
go
turning
for
great.
it.
You.
That was me.
you.
Yeah, he's beating your
I was
ass.
looking at him. He looked that color.
Well,
Yeah, well, that's
you
because your eyes were about to be shut. You know what I mean?
Might want to call the airline, have them get you a wheelchair. It's gonna be real tough moving around that airport.
That's a great call.
Actually,
We need to get you one of these oculi. It's a good time, right? Wasn't that
Yeah.
fun? That was
No,
easy
thank
cardio.
you. Yeah.
And you won 20 people $500.
yeah, and it's
Hell
quick.
yeah.
Good job, coach.
It's that good of a workout, that quick.
That was a great workout, dude.
That was our Thursday night football.
Yeah, it was. That was more exciting than a lot of Thursday night football.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that for us. That was good action.
Thank you for having me.
Well, no problem. You've had a great year. And there was 2 games this weekend that you wanted to talk about. We'll let you catch your breath. You just had a fucking 3-round instant classic with Ugly Joe.
Ugly Joe nonetheless. Yeah.
Did they read off the scores that the judges gave it?
Be honest with you, Pat.
Blacked
That
out.
ref might have been saying some stuff. Big Joe might have been talking shit. You guys were obviously trying to encourage me, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful for and tell me which punches to throw and all that. But
hold on,
everything became pretty much a blur after a certain amount of time.
Tunnel vision.
And
that's what I'm talking about. It's a good workout.
Actually, not getting hit, right? And then feeling your legs the way they feel.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a great workout.
How about your arms? How about your shoulders and arms? Though, throwing all those punches?
No, it just, my legs started to.
You can hurt yourself.
So with that new Oculus, with the new one, I started a new account through just a new email, because it used to be you had to have your Facebook. I don't know what my Facebook, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I have no
No
idea
idea
what my Facebook thing is. So I just started a new account there. So in doing that, just bought the game again. I have to go through the entire campaign again. So like, Chuck, this is not me braggadocious, but like you fight like 3 to 4 guys in one day or one night. The work, I'm drenched and I'm dead. I believe it. Over there. And it's the same fighters, but it's just at different levels. It keeps getting harder and harder. And it just becomes like one of those, you just start.
In a zone.
No, but I'm saying like you'll punch because then the rounds go from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. Then it goes from 3 rounds to 5 rounds at a certain level. And it's like, I think I've made it to a 3rd round one time. But I'm like you. I'm punching I'm not really boxing much. No. I'm looking to knock out. And in doing so, it's like one of the best workouts I've ever had in my entire life. Like I love it. Love it. Love it.
What were those rounds? 2 minutes?
2. Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it.
About a minute in is when it really starts. You look up, you're like, damn, I'm nowhere near. I thought it'd be like 20 seconds, 10 seconds.
I didn't take my eyes off Big Joe, to be honest with you.
Well,
I looked at
Corner
time.
was trying to tell you.
I know. You guys, I heard you yelling out some. I appreciate all the help. I needed to get through that.
Love you, Coach.
You did. Yeah. And you did. With a victory.
You won. What did you think you were... Literally, you hearing about the game to playing the game.
Well,
it's a matter of 2
I'll
minutes.
be honest with you, Pat and guys. When you said, hey, look, we're going to... Because all we talked about was ping pong. AJ.
Oh, you died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to strap up, go play some. You good at ping? He asked, you good at ping pong? Next thing you know, I'm fighting Big fucking Joe. Fucking kind of shit's that? And I'm not going to like. I can't back fucking down.
He could have.
You know, I can't. Hey, you good at ping pong? How are you at table tennis? What do you? And then all of a sudden, hey.
Big Joe,
punch Joe right
3
here
rounds.
and start this fucking thing. Oh, shit.
Put your fucking mouthpiece in, Chuck.
What the fuck?
When Big Joe calls.
It's a full bamboozle.
Yeah.
A full.
Oh, you.
Hey, it's a lot different. Ping pong not as stressful.
No, you want what?
Exactly.
Feels like you got your breath back, which is good news. This weekend, couple massive games.
Yeah. Dude.
Now, you were 11-4-1 on Thursday night against the spread. 2 big games, obviously, that everybody's kind of looking at as being a massive implication game. Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, and Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans. For both these games, we'll start with the Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills games. What are your thoughts on it? How do you see it going? And Josh Allen isn't even a Pro Bowler.
No.
And this Bills team is playing the best football they've been playing. They've got back to themselves, and then you look on Miami. We followed along with Hard Knocks a little bit. Cool team. Like that team.
Yeah.
Obviously have some injuries. What do you think? What are your thoughts, and how do you feel about them?
Well, as far as the injuries go, do we know if Waddle is going to be available?
Practice today, I believe. I could, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I thought
So I think
saw
that's
that.
big for Miami.
He is
obviously.
pushing to play. He's pushing to play.
And like Josh Allen need a little bit more motivation, with the Pro Bowl snub or whatever. Not that I think he gives us 2 shits about that. But they're hot. They're winners of 4 straight. Miami's 2-2 in their last 4. Miami went up there early in the season, got beat down 48-20. I mean, it wasn't even close. James Cook is rolling. They'll do whatever they have to do to take Tyreek out of the game. I just think there's too many injuries right now. Xavier Howard's not going to play for Miami. They just lost Chubb. Between Chubb and Phillips, who went out 2-3 weeks ago, that's 17 and a half of their 53 sacks they got on the year.
Jeez.
Okay, so I'm wondering between Van Ginkel, Christian Wilkins.
Andrew
Van Ginkel.
I think, Seiler, Christian, and then Van Gink. They've got some other. Melvin Ingram stepped out there to replace. He can't. He looks really old. Like arrow down.
Coach.
He's ugly John Nasada.
Yeah, he's a vet.
Gumpy, I'm rooting for you, but hey,
Doesn't sound like you are, Coach.
I just think with the injuries, this Buffalo Bills team's playing with a lot of swag and a lot of confidence right now. I'm taking Buffalo going down there.
All right.
Congrats to the Bills. That's a huge win.
Yeah, massive.
Isn't it, AJ? Considering where they were and where they are now going into Miami, last game of the season, get a big time dub, then into the play. Good for the Bills, AJ. Good for the Bills.
Yeah, great for the Bills. We said this. I mean, what a weird roller coaster of a season it's been for them. And now they figured they went through a rough patch, and now they're peaking at the right time. But once again, they don't finish it off. Nothing really matters.
Kadarius Toney, 2 feet.
Yep.
That's it.
If you look back,
Yeah.
if he was just
look over. Greatest play. Would have been the greatest play.
just a little bit,
Dolphins would have clinched.
he's just a little bit back this way.
Well, Dolphins don't blow it to the Titans. Also already clinched too. A lot of
Yeah, that was
self-inflicted stuff for the
29,
Bills
28.
here
Yeah,
as
I mean, that
well,
was
let's be
egregious. And then
honest.
they beat the brakes off the Jets 30-0. They don't have any. I mean, that doesn't count.
Well,
That's an NFL team.
they got Pro Bowlers on that defense.
Is it an NFL team, Jack?
Jalen, they usually don't travel down there, but I think Jalen's going to have to because if you line up, Gumpy, you'll agree with me on this. Kohu can't play outside all the time. He's a good nickel, but when he has to play outside corner opposite of Ramsey or opposite of Apple, it's not a good deal.
Oh, no.
What's that?
The Jalen Ramsey comments about Josh Allen that we remembered last year, week 1, when it was Rams-Bills.
What did he say again?
He said the first time I believe they played the Bills when Jalen was in Jacksonville, something about how Josh Allen isn't good at football or he's not going to throw the
then
football.
Josh won at him.
Yeah, and that was the Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, like, hey, he's looking
Check
at
with me.
Yeah, he's looking at you. And then deep ball, Stephon Diggs did one of these in Jalen's face. I didn't even think about that type of revenge game on both sides.
Yeah, there's some.
Because revenge for Jalen, because he kind of got not embarrassed, but a little bit because the inside the NFL, all those mic'd ups
Big
came
brain
out.
football.
Big brain football.
They beat the fucking shit out of the Rams on banner night.
Yeah, and obviously when there for the first one, Diggs had 3 touchdown receptions.
Yep.
Josh had 3 TD passes, obviously, and a rushing TD, 4 total.
Wow, I didn't know this was the case. Miami, Dover.
Oh, no.
What?
It's already clinched the playoffs. We're not the team playing to get into the playoffs here.
Yeah, you're right. What's this all
And what are we
about?
talking about?
point.
Josh Allen didn't play great against the Pats last
So
week.
even
did he?
even
Some
more
more
so take the
motivation.
Bills backs against the wall.
What about Vic Fangiover?
Yeah, what
No,
has
that's-
happened to Vic here, Chuck? I mean, what
Whoa.
was
Well,
what?
he climbed him. He got him to number 5.
Yeah, but what happened against the Ravens? Like that game plan was awful.
Whoa.
I think it may be a totally different game if Tyreek doesn't drop that touchdown pass.
All right.
I think that I just
Guy's
think,
house caught on fire.
Yeah, give him a break, Chuck. He's not Ugly Joe. I'll take it out on him.
Yeah, I feel bad for bummed out about the house, but
We're talking ball.
But what?
We're talking ball right
We
now.
talking ball or not?
That's what you say. We're talking ball. Happy everybody's okay.
they were doing well. You saw it. I mean, they started to click. But he had Phillips, he had Chubb. They were rolling.
They're winning.
Phillips and Chubb are both just massive losses
Huge.
on their own. Both together is just a killer. Chubb was playing his best ball by far.
This is the NFL every year, by the way. Who can get lucky with injuries at key places? Obviously, it's not fun that is the case, but it's real. And then going into the season, we thought it was going to be the year
Yes.
that there's no injuries.
Yeah.
None. I'm hoping for it.
That didn't happen, AJ.
No, we can hope, though. Maybe next year. Be the first time.
How come they always talk about me being a big fat liar when it comes to that? I said there's going to be no injuries this year. There's a lot. There's an injury to Chuck because fucking Jonas Otto took him through.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, you had an injury this year on your own.
Yeah, I pulled a hamstring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running sprints right out there where Chuck was fighting Jonas Otto.
That's right.
Oh, I
Crazy.
thought it was ping pong. If this trap flares up,
If.
No.
What do you mean? What do you mean? If.
you could have a
When?
problem. It's already starting. I need some eye view.
Chuck,
Where's
Saving
my
the
corner man, Billy? Where's
hey,
my corner man?
Zeno ran in with some
Zeke
water.
got me water,
Chair,
Billy.
IV.
Appreciate you guys. I'm going to need a little ice pack.
Every once in a while, I will set the boundary up with a chair right off the end of it.
Yeah, it should.
If you're going to fight the champ at the end, he's an Irish lad.
Oh.
He's tough to knock out at those final two.
Big
He'll get you in there. You'll get tired. You know what I mean?
That little stool, thank God, because I wanted to sit on it.
Yeah,
And I remembered, okay,
not
this
real.
is not real.
Oh, you should.
That would look bad.
The pink, oh my God. You falling on that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Not answering the bell either. Why? What beat you? The fake stool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hit your
no.
life alert on your wrist.
Oh, yeah. I've fallen.
And I can't get up.
That's looks real.
I know.
You look good out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really impressive. There was a lot of times where you should have just went, no, I'm not doing it anymore. Put your left glove up and said
white
exit.
flag.
Instead, you put continue every single time.
Yeah,
you answered the bell, Chuck.
Really did.
Hell yeah, Chuck.
Nice job, Chuck.
I'm going to pay for it.
It's all right. Hey, you earned that soreness.
You're going to be sore.
By fighting Jonas Otto. Now let's talk about earning something. The Indianapolis Colts have earned their way into an opportunity to win, and they're in the playoffs. They're taking on a team that is in the same exact situation. Also, one of these two teams could be the AFC South champs if the Jacksonville Jaguars lose to the Tennessee Titans on Sunday following this primetime game on ESPN on Saturday night.
Let's go.
CJ Stroud, obviously a weapon, but Gardner Minshew's been dancing. His team's beloved by Indianapolis because I think they're outperforming what all of us thought this season was going to be. And in Houston, they have the same exact story happening. What do you think the game does, shows, proves, and who's in, who's out? Chuck Pagano.
I don't think we always talk about injuries first. I don't think there's any significant guy like Zach Moss ain't coming back, right?
No, him, Tank Dell, he's done. There's
Dell's out for them. He's been out, right?
Yeah, tough injury there.
Yeah.
There's nobody else, right? CJ came back last week.
I think that's about it.
So you think back to week 2.
No, that's a long time ago.
2 different teams, right?
Yeah.
4 different teams, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo.
So you probably got CJ, who's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, right? Hands down, done.
Yeah, well, Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Yeah, look out. He might win. This is
Great
what happened.
interview, too. Not CJ
Yeah, like the
Stroud.
MVP, it always goes to a quarterback.
CJ's
though. So
heavy
depending on
favorite.
what happens in this game, if the Rams go on, you know, they're already clinched a playoff berth, right? If they win, then Puka's probably going to get it. But
No.
he threw for
CJ
300.
Stroud's
He
gonna
threw for 3. He was 30 of 47 for 384 and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
47 attempts, rookie, second week.
So good.
Can you imagine?
Jesus.
And no interceptions. And we sacked Colts sacked him 6 times. And he just kept responding. They got way behind. It was 31-10 with like 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah,
in that
Anthony
game.
Richardson had, I think, 2 rushing touchdowns.
So good at football.
Filthy.
Yeah,
They beat the
the
fuck out of him.
18-yarder, the quarterback draw early.
Yep, bingo.
It just watching that again today, this morning.
I tried
It was
not
just like, man, this guy,
Future's bright.
this guy's going to be around here for a long
Can he
time.
survive?
It was in that same game.
And what a
I
great
believe
job
he got
Minshew's done,
concussed,
obviously.
knocked his head off the.
It was that run.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, where he kind of pulled up on the goal line.
Yeah, got to protect yourself.
This is a scary one.
For who?
For sure.
For everybody?
For Indy, I just think with Indy, you know, if we can't get to the quarterback again, we're going to need a couple turnovers.
It's at the Lotta
It's at the
House.
Lotta House. You know that, right? It's at the Lotta House.
Tunzo ain't going to be able to get off the line.
Can I take a T-shirt so I can wear it Saturday night like I'm with you guys in the Lotta
Not
House?
if you're about to pick the Texans.
Sack of wine.
Good call, Gump. Gump's actually thinking that because of what you just said about the Dolphins, so he's been looking.
Yep.
This is loud.
Well,
you know
he's
how
feeling-
loud it's going to be on Saturday night, Chuck?
Hey, Chuck. That's not it. What is
That's not it.
Are you ready to have a good time?
That doesn't sound like
How much did they play that? I didn't get a chance to go to the game this past weekend, obviously, because we're out at 2 game day shows at Pasadena that we certainly knew. 2 games. 2 game days. Not 1.
No.
They play this song more than once?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, they showed Talk, and they were like, holy fuck, get that guy on the Jumbotron. He's got these glasses on.
I got a text from Conti this week that actually said, hey, is it all right if we show you on camera when you're in the suite? I'm like, Conti, this is like, what, week 18 now?
You didn't ask before.
Yes.
Chris.
You show me up. His name is Matt. He's a good man.
Maybe.
He's probably a massive piece of that thing getting decorated and handling it all.
Probably the piece.
But I do appreciate him texting and asking or whatever the case, because there'll be a lot of times where I'm mid eating something. Yeah. I'm not paying attention to the thing, and all of a sudden I'm on
It's
it.
Pat McAfee.
And it's like, oh, you beep, 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 beep. That's not it.
No.
That's it's awesome in the Loud House. And then you run that back. We score, run it, kick off.
New? Did they do that when you played there, or is it new?
We got traditions that are 8.5 games old, baby.
Yeah, it's all a lot house.
This is the Lot House. This
New
ain't the
era.
Lucas Oil Library anymore.
No.
It's the Lot House.
Lucas Oil Lot House.
And Houston's got to come in here. Good luck, C.J. Stroud. He's still a rookie. He hasn't experienced this Lot House. He doesn't know what it's going to be.
They haven't played in front of a whole entire sold-out crowd in Houston all year. How are they going to do that in Indy?
Especially in the Lot House.
Uh-huh.
So go on with what you were saying.
They're going on.
Who are you taking, Chuck?
Who, CJ?
Silent clap.
You're gonna have
It's going to be so loud.
Listen, we love C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Lot House?
Good luck.
He ain't
Hey,
Stroud.
so JT's healthy, right?
Yep.
JT's 5-0. He averages about 125 to 130 yards against these guys in 5 starts. Did you know that?
Oh, shit.
150, I think,
Houston,
in the last one.
We have
So,
another problem because it used to be T.Y.
Mouth of CJ or JT. Gardner's been taking care of the football. Don't turn the thing over. We'll create a couple turnovers here and there. The difference in that first game, here's where we got to be really good, and we got to expose them. They were 1 for 4 in the red area in that first game. 1 for 4.
Okay. Got to keep.
So they got down there, missed field goal, forced field goals, got turnover. So if we can do the same thing, what's the line? -1?
1.
Yeah.
Plus
Houston's
Basically,
-1.
pick them, huh? Okay, give me the home team. Give me the Colts.
There you go, Chuck. There you go, Chuck. In the Lot House.
And a T-shirt.
There was next to no chance. You got your shirt for sure. You've earned it. There was next to no chance he was picking anybody but the Colts. Yep. You remember Chuck does his
Coach's huddle.
Coach,
Oh, is that a Fugazi pick then?
the Chuck checkup.
Chuck check-in.
Check-in.
To
You
Chuck
got me wheezing, boy. That's when you know you've worked. The lungs are wheezing.
burning a little bit.
Oh, more Lord, me yeah.
We trust the pick then?
Yeah, you.
So are you winded right now?
Not winded.
Are you
You know
clear
when like
mind?
you run hills for the first time or something, you really blow them out.
Yeah.
Blow it out.
Wait till you go outside. It's going to be
Yeah, it's
cold.
icy cold.
cold, brisk. You're one of those when you walk out. Yeah, you get you one of those. You already won people money, so we don't even have to. You picked Colts.
Yep.
And you picked the Bills.
You any good at ping pong?
You can try that too. Oh, there
He's
is
doing 3
Louise.
rounds.
And 3, I couldn't believe. Like I was after you go. Okay, catch your breath. You can take a seat. Get him a chair. What? Water? What?
Yeah, I got another round. I didn't expect it to
2
go
more.
through.
You
To
had
be
to
clear,
finish. You had to finish.
Ugly Joe in the easy round. I don't know if he's ever seen that third round either.
Yeah.
He was in unchair. You're supposed to just knock that person out
Yeah, expectation of the Pagano punch too for us.
because of
Yeah, peanut. Remember,
Foxy. You lost the decision to Ugly Joe at that level, right?
Yeah, there's a chance I did, yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah.
well, at $1.30.
Oh,
Soaking wet.
It's tough.
it's a good game. Me and Gumpy used to play ping pong a lot against each other when he was stuck up in Canada. Those were good times.
Fire it back up.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. We've been in the trenches all week, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a good week for us, AJ. It's been a good week for us.
Great week.
Bunker mentality.
You know, adversity only builds maturity, which makes you better.
Amen.
Well said.
You're only as mature as the shit that you go through. You know? So those who go through a lot are normally considered wise. Why are they wise? Well, because they're mature. Why are they mature? Well, because they've been through some shit. This week was a big one. Self-imposed, self-inflicted, but us and how it went and how everything has gone, I'd like to say we're going to get better from it.
Amen.
And shout out to ESPN. ESPN, you know, they're like, are you going to address it? Yeah, I feel like I have to.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. We won't give a comment then. All right. But if you weren't going to, we were certainly.
Yeah. You're not saying that.
Exactly. You know, so we would like to once again say to the world, we apologize immensely for being a part of any negativity on this particular week. Now, granted, with that being said, this week is awesome. We came from college football playoff right into national championship, week 18 of the NFL season. The amount of news that's about to break on Monday, not even the national championship, but everything for the NFL that's going to happen on Monday. The players are going to do their thing to get them into postseason play. There's a lot of great things that are happening, and instead, our show is being talked about in a negative way, and I fucking hate that. That is not what we want to be in society. So we will try to continue to get better. We will try to continue to offer up a show that stinks and sucks, and hopefully you will continue to watch alongside of us, even though I've heard we're getting boycotted. And on that note, Chuck beat up Joe.
Yep.
Congrats, Chuck.
Good work, Chuck.
The Hammer Dahn boys are putting out winners.
Yep.
Beating up the
Good
books.
gobblers.
Way to go, Hammer Dahn boys.
There you go.
The toxic table was batting 1,000. Way to go, boys.
Way to go.
I don't know about that, but
And AJ Hawk has somehow, while sitting here, produced another kid with his wife.
Yep.
amen.
Impressive.
Congrats, AJ.
Way to go, AJ.
Well, nah, it didn't happen. But it's not out of the question, though. It's not a done deal.
Well, that Muppet sperm.
Yeah,
Travels.
I mean, I didn't see that, but like I said, I'm taking it as a positive thing.
I saw a lot of our people have gone to bat for us on the internet. We appreciate that. Some guy called me a chicken shit or whatever, and then one of my guys responded, or one of our people responded, was like, "Would love to see this guy say this to Pat's face." He was just a punter, by the way, just a punter. Would love to see it. People are getting real comfortable out there. People are getting real comfortable with the
internet.
thing.
It's good to see the support because they also are not having it.
And I appreciate you calling me a chicken shit.
You sit in the basement, door locked.
Well, that guy couldn't hold my jock
You know,
with
couldn't
anything,
he?
basically, that I've done. Speaking of chicken shit.
No,
okay.
sir.
Why don't you just do what you're told to do, pal? Okay? Just do what you're told to do, all right? That is chicken shit. There was some that got through that I was like, this motherfucker. You know? But I'm very lucky to be in the position I'm in. And I think this is something I didn't, you know how we said, whenever we decided to go to ESPN, our people started killing us.
Oh, yeah.
remember?
Oh, yeah.
Like our people turned loud. I did not expect that. I thought I'd build up enough, like maybe a little bit of credit with our people that they would understand, you know. But instead, people just fuck this guy. All right, I'm so sorry.
No faith.
And then when this situation happens, I thought maybe we had built up a little bit of like, yeah, hey, pretty positive group of people. People don't even. A lot of people. Now there's been a lot of people going to our bat for us. We appreciate that. Stephen A.
Yep.
was one of them. I believe the Today Show this morning talked about it. Went to bat for us, I think.
Really?
Very nice. A lot of people on the internet, they're trying to kill us. Just know we're going to try to do this as long as we possibly can. And when the time is up for us to leave, we will know.
Yep.
And I thought that was the other day, to be honest. But the sun came up this morning, not for long because it was so cloudy. The sun will come up tomorrow. Sports will continue to be great, and we'll continue to try to be a crew that unifies people because that's what sports do.
Hell yeah.
And we're a moment, we divided a lot, and we don't need that right now. We don't need to add to that. And we'll continue to echo that sentiment forever. All right. Tomorrow's a big one.
Huge.
Tomorrow is a big one. Already Friday tomorrow.
Yep.
Crazy. Crazy.
Last regular season picks.
Got to make our picks. Have you seen the record?
No, I believe you already ran away with it, didn't you?
No. 10-6 last weekend. 10-6 last weekend. 6-5-5. 5-6-5.
For all the marbles.
All the marbles.
Here we go.
Wow, look at this. What a big week, especially with all of these different games with different quarterbacks playing, different who's playing, who's not. This will be a fun one.
A lot of backup quarterbacks, a lot of teams who have things to play for, a lot of teams that have just like spoiler to play for. A lot of guys are looking to put good film on tape for next year to get somewhere else. So some people that we've never heard of have massive games on these last weeks and kind of ruin an entire city's dreams.
Yep.
Didn't Joe Dirt do that to the Colts a couple years back?
Yeah, when they went down to
Had no
Jacksonville.
idea the guy existed, and all of a sudden he's the one sending us out of the playoffs. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're supposed
Jacksonville.
to be. Yeah.
He's done a lot. He's done a lot.
Clown time.
Everywhere.
They were dressed up like clowns.
Clown, huh?
They were dressed up like clowns because their team was operating in a clown way, they thought.
They better
That
win.
team knocked us out of the playoffs.
Yep.
That effort.
They better.
That was tough.
Well, a year later, they bring in Doug P, and that's the cream of the crop. They made it all the way to divisional round.
Yeah, there's not a lot of clown town stuff happening down there anymore, but it's been a rough couple weeks for this Jacksonville Jaguars team.
Yeah, they better win.
Why?
4 out of the last 5.
They'll be out.
Why?
What are they, like 2-6 since Mr. Dirt Day touched that towel?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
The Bengals touched the towel too a week after that or something like that too.
Did they? What happened?
Is it the Bengals? They stink.
What towel are you talking about?
Don't touch terrible towel, okay?
Oh, you're talking about, oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. That guy in Vegas had that fear one time.
Yep.
He said, I don't fear it anymore.
No.
Doesn't care.
I won't go get it. There was no terrible towels involved, just incredible athleticism.
Yeah.
Something we've never seen before.
Big game
But
Saturday.
you're talking about a couple teams go ahead and mocking the terrible towel, and all of a sudden, the football god's saying, don't.
You don't think Myron Cope's watching?
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Give me your towel.
Can't do it.
Give me your towel.
Scumbag.
Oh, I forgot one. Give me that one, too.
I try
Pittsburgh.
to hit him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get what
Take the towel.
You get what you deserve.
How have they done since then?
Not good.
What is it?
3-5.
3-5. I said 2-6. I knew the actual record, but
Oh, you just want to sauce it up a little bit. One here, one there.
And the last one was Carolina.
Think about that.
It doesn't even count as a win.
Well, CJ Beathard played well. So
26-0.
You can't count that.
Who's CJ Beathard?
One of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the University of Iowa. Would love to have that guy back.
Speaking of Iowa, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
She's unbelievable.
All right, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Have to, because you see the new deal that just got signed?
Oh, yeah, huge.
Big money.
Massive.
Caitlin Clark, massive piece of that. Angel Reese, massive piece of that.
Yep.
Actually changing the trajectory of future college women's sports.
For sure.
With what college basketball, women's college basketball did and is doing right now. Awesome. Beautiful. We'll talk about that. We'll make our picks. We'll go into the weekend in a beautiful way. Wrapping up this incredibly long start to the 2024 year, and also project us right into happiness, which is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, meaningful football all over the place. You're the greatest people on earth. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Chuck, go work today, buddy.
Appreciate you guys.
Goodbye.